With no exaggeration, the LEC versus finals of G2 versus Carmine Corp is genuinely going down in history as one of the greatest sets of League of Legends I've ever watched. I'm including worlds, international events, and everything like that, and most certainly I will say it is a absolute standout in terms of the LEC's historic sets. This is one of them. El Clasico, I literally think fuck Fnatic, KC, MKOI, and G2, but specifically KC, as much as I hate to say that as an MKOI fan, is really turning into El Clasico. These guys are no joke. I am going to rush right into this because, guys, I have no exaggeration, 17 pages worth of notes to go through. They specifically highlight the most games 3 through 5 because those are the most tense ones, and I rewatched them actually to write down a lot of these notes. These are more just bullet points when I was actually watching the games themselves, games 1 and 2, but still I think you'll see some value in them, so we'll talk about them in just a second. Let's get to a little bit of a preview coming into the series, right? So we had Carmine Corp and G2 on both sides. Carmine Corp was coming off of an insane weekend, a lot of momentum, right? They beat GX 3-0. They take MKOI to 5 games, and although it's 5 games, Carmine Corp clearly dominated their wins more than MKOI dominated theirs, right? MKOI wins games 1 and 3. They were close, and Carmine Corp showed signs of life. And everybody looked stellar, with Kalist being the most average of the group, while everybody else had big standout moments. And Kalist was not bad by any means in that series. And then games 2, 4, and 5, which are the ones that KC won. I mean, I think grand total, MKOI only got 5 kills in those games at most, if I'm remembering correctly. Because I know in game 2, they only had 1 or 2 kills. Game 4, same thing. Game 5, maybe they had 3. And I actually think they had less because it was a terrible game. So Carmine Corp dominated those wins. Mechanically, all of these players bring so much to the table. It is actually insane, and the proof is in the pudding when we watch the plays from this particular series. Let's fly over. That's not what I meant to do. Let's fly over to my boys on G2. So what's the narrative here, guys? I think we already know, right? This roster is being heavily compared to G2 2024, which ironically had Yike as their jungler, and now he's on KC, the absolute rival. So this is going to be a big test. Is Skumon really the better jungler, or is Yike, right? Coming into this year, a big YouTuber that I really like to watch, Psychopathic Poro, was putting Yike ahead of Skumon in the head-to-head, considering Yike to be the best jungler coming from the LEC. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. We'll see how it kind of pans out in the series. The last big things to mention, I think G2 also slouched this year until the playoffs, and that was very reminiscent to 2025, where in winter and spring, they had bad regular seasons where, I think this was the worst case where they barely made playoffs, but they also struggled in winter and spring of 2025. Then they did well in the playoffs. I mean, completely ramped up, looked like a completely different team. We were told by the management, the coaches and everything like that no, don't worry, G2, we got this. We're just not taking it as seriously. We know how to ramp up. It's best of ones, yada, yada, yada. Excuses. They would get to the finals in spring and winter and spring respectively and lose in horrific fashion. 0-3, I believe, to KC, and 1-3 to MKOI in spring. So now the narrative was pretty much this was going to be poetic, right? G2 bad regular season in this LEC versus regular season, ramping up in the playoffs, and then finally they end up losing in the finals to Carmine Corp, no less. It would have been perfect, right? So what ends up happening? Well, let's get directly into it. So, where do we begin? So first of all, the draft very quickly in this game. So KC picks Lucian Nami. Now I was concerned, they brought it up early in the draft, or as they were drafting, that Lucian was on a 13-game lose streak. However, I did say if any bot lane was going to make this duo work, the Lucian Nami, I thought it might be Kalist and Busio, especially because I really believe in Busio on the range supports. Lebrav had taken away the Bard. I was thinking that was really, really good in the hands of Busio. So I know that part of G2's draft strategy from last year in Fearless is to make sure that they not only take what they want, but take away some great picks from their opponents. So in part, that could be a reason. Although I also know that Lebrav is proficient and really enjoys the Bard too, and he does very well on the pick in this game. The last big thing to mention, or two big things to mention, Caps on the Orianna. He is 5-0 as of the time of this game, was 5-0 on the champ in 2026. Before I don't want you guys to miss this in 1 second. He was so he's 5-0 on the champ in 2026. And the last thing is BB. So BB goes Shen into Mbessa. I think I have a note about this in a moment, but it really does bother me when BB this year has been picking the wild shit. He was one of the guys that really popularized Kled in the meta last year. He played the Warwick last year. This year into Kana, I believe, in the regular season, he played Lee Sin into Rumble, which is supposed to be a very good matchup. And most of the time, I feel like he ends up kind of like inting his lane. And it feels like cheese that if it doesn't get ahead early or if it just fucks up one little thing, you are completely turbo behind, right? So for all those reasons, I really didn't like this Shen pick initially, and that's kind of my opinion on the draft. And then KC's draft is just maybe lacking a little bit of AP, and I was concerned about the Lucian Nami, but otherwise I'm like, all right, Mbessa and Jarvan, pretty normal. All right, so we get into the game, 130. The analysis gets better towards games 3 through 5 because those are the ones that I really rewatched, but please bear with me. So here, they take a 2v2 trade that gets the flash out of Kalist and forces him to back. And at this time, I don't think... well, Lebrav had to commit his flash, but look at that. 2 sums for 3 and forcing a reset, and Hans has complete control over the wave. This is exactly how a Caitlyn lane should be playing. We jump forward to... actually, I'm going to do it with the arrows like this. So we jump forward to 435. So the CS lead is pretty substantial, 200 gold ahead with from Hansama. They still have control over the lane. But then Lebrav, I believe, just steps up a little bit too much right here. And watch how this play goes out. So look at the fucking damage. I shouldn't be cursing this much. I think that hurts you on YouTube. But look at that. Look at that. I mean, he literally goes down 80% in just a few hits. This is the scary part of the Lucian Nami, is how their passives work together, or you know, the passives of some of their abilities. Boom. Kalist doesn't even get distracted with Hansama, even though Busio hits the bubble. He just goes straight for Lebrav, and they're able to kill him super duper quick. So this kind of flips the script. Now all of a sudden, Kalist is the one ahead in gold. Now he has more minions to pick up. He can probably get a reset out here, or just, you know, continue the pressure. You get the idea. Look, still, I don't believe Hansama ends up burning any sums, which is ridiculously impressive. Look at that. Didn't even pop barrier. I gotta say, another thing coming into this, I don't know if you guys know the rumors that last year... okay, this is so interesting. I made a message in one of my videos. I was talking about G2's off season, how they supposedly had an opportunity to sign Inspired, but they didn't. They went against it. And I really thought that G2 was going to try and get Inspired, because I think it's in the video that I talk about Caps wasting his prime, or G2 wasting Caps' prime. That I was frustrated that they stuck with this roster that I didn't think was that promising. And one of the things that a commenter had mentioned, which was also a rumor in 2024 or going into 2025 even, and now it happened again in 2026, is that G2 was looking to get Kalist. And that's great. And I think at the beginning of 2025 especially, Kalist really stood out. But I guess this is my long-winded way of saying that Hansama, although I haven't been impressed with him in the past, I actually am ridiculously impressed with him this year. Like, every game that I've watched with Hansama has been pretty spectacular. We'll see how it pans out in this series, but I've really been impressed by how much balls he has, and I don't see much of a difference between him and Kalist. I think they both are playing like fucking out of this world. That's just my opinion. Okay, so now we're going to jump forward a little bit to here where Skewmond, you can see on the bottom of the screen, is starting to make his way towards the bot lane. He Oracle lenses to see that there's no vision. He gets a beautiful magical journey from Lebrav, hits the W into the EQ, bang, kills Kalist, and they get Busio out of the lane. Great gank from Skewmond. Okay, the game was relatively slow, and it was just about the members of G2 kind of slowly finding advantages and stuff like that. Although here we see, you'll start to see Broken Blade's keeping it even for now, but it starts to look a little ugly soon. Who died? Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, I didn't miss anything. Okay, the next big play comes up here at 850. So Kana in just a second is about to all-in Broken Blade. And then Yahoo hits his ultimate to back him up. They trap BB between the two towers. And this forces him to go for, you know, just a trade and attempt to maybe get a kill back. But he ultimately fails to and ends up dying, which actually, watching it back, I'm like, that was actually shockingly close. And at least he gets the flash out of Mbessa in return. So not the worst. However, I will say this matchup, supposedly the Shen was supposed to actually counter the Mbessa, but when you think about it, Mbessa gets a lot of mileage out of her actual skills, or her spells, I should say, so the blocking her auto attacks really doesn't seem like that would be that valuable in that matchup, but supposedly it's a counter pick. Anyway, check out this insane smite fight. Dude, I swear to God, I don't know how Skewmon reacted to this. Like, look at this. I'm going to actually frame by frame it for a second. So Yike goes for the Cataclysm, right? I don't even know. Like, is it like, I'm assuming it's Yike smiting first and then Skewmon smiting second. I have no idea. Maybe he waited for the Cataclysm damage or something. But just an absolutely insane moment. Skewmon has had ice in his veins here, which, by the way, Yike has been the one that's been super famous for, both on G2 and now again in this year, especially in KC, for stealing objectives like insane. So anyway, just a really cool moment that I wanted to highlight. I don't believe anybody dies here. Yeah, he gets a flash. Great, I forget what Bard ultimate is called, but great ult from Lebrav there to get the flash from Yike. We jump forward to Kana in the top lane in just a few seconds, finding a very good trade onto Broken Blade because of that kill that he got a little while ago. And I guess again, this is something that if I rewatched the game, I would have actually went back and found out for sure. But Kana also has an item advantage here. And so he's able to kill Broken Blade. He fulfills his role quest, and he's starting to accelerate just a little bit here, right? Okay. Okay, so now, in a few seconds, what a cool play. Bartle is about to catch Busio and Kalist, with Skewmon coming to hit both of them with Q. Oh, yeah, okay. So watch this. Look at this Bartle. Bang, lands on both of them. Look at Skewmon. Ults, he's about to Q them. They both flash in different directions. That is so cool. And it ends with, and then, look at that. This is so freaking cool. I mean, I swear to God, dude, this game was filled with so many little anime moments like that. Look, he comes in, they both flash, and now this play has suddenly, I don't know what Hansama's doing. I don't know if he's trying to take the wave or whatever, because he should be moving up more so. Unless he sees, the TP, which I believe is coming from Mbessa, yeah. So that's why he has to back off the play. And suddenly this play flips, and this is also in part because now Broken Blade's dead, so even if he did have 6, which he does, he's obviously level 9, he wouldn't be able to join this fight in nearly enough time as they need. And so now suddenly this turns into a situation where Skewmon is caught between all of them. Oh, I thought he actually got caught out. And then, unfortunately, kind of misses the ultimate, but that's that. Okay. We are going to jump to... Oh, this was a ridiculously cool play. I feel like if there's been TikToks about this or whatever, you guys have probably seen this. So Cap steps up. Look, Skewmon's in the river. He's starting to press forward. Look at Cap. Speeds himself up. That is so ridiculous. Caps flashes forward to get in front of the Justice Punch of the Galio so that he can't get the rest of the distance off. He backs up, and then right before he propels forward, Caps flashes, he gets knocked up, and then look at this. I mean, this is like some solo queue shit. Look how they commit. Gets the shockwave, even though they missed the Q, bang, they still secure that kill. Really, really impressive stuff, and I believe Caps gets out of this too. Look at how, holy shit, I forgot about this. I actually forgot about this, and I'm actually really glad that we're watching this together. So check this out. Oh, fuck. Wow. Okay, no, okay. I wrote more notes, that's why. Okay. So, yeah, I was ridiculously impressed. Look how, like, even though they're missing skill shots, I would never think that they have enough damage or whatever to get this kill after he escapes the W. He flashes the Q, but then he shockwaves anyway, which this is kind of like a shockwave prediction, because if he's shockwaving, if Caps is shockwaving over here, it would actually pull Yahoo a little bit, to under his tower, and then he could like flash or whatever to get out. So he kind of flashes. That must have been a prediction, straight up. That's insane. And so he gets that into the EQ. I mean, they didn't even need it. Now Yike Cataclysms, right? But check this out. So Kana is heading down to this play. They've been pinging it, I guess, since he started the Justice Punch, I guess, when they read this play. Busio, of course, first on the move, because he just is that guy. I don't know what the hell to say, right? But then check this out. So if you notice, Hans and Lebrav are also coming up. They're a little bit slower to the play, but they're also coming up. So watch this. fucking not magical journey, whatever the hell this thing is called. I actually want to know the name now. Hits Busio with the Bard ult. But look at that. I didn't even notice it. Even watching it again, I didn't notice it. But look, the reason why Caps doesn't go super low with the Cataclysm is because he gets Shen ulted. So Shen is matching the Mbessa's presence here. The wave does go off. I forget if they did something to counter the Mbessa ult, but Mbessa's right here and she ults. But she lands on the Shen, which is crazy. I mean, Caps had to sidestep that anyway because, in 1 second. Because as you can see, oh, no. Oh, does he get, who does Mbessa get? It's suppressed, so I would assume it's the, oh, no, he does get Broken Blade. Anyway, okay. So there you can see Kana arrives. Yike flashes out, but now it's Kana against the world. So the fight actually, dude, and then Broken Blade ends up taunting Mbessa, and she dies. And then because they had Busio locked up, and then Labrov gets the magical journey, he's able to get Hansama into the fight, and they kill Busio too. I mean, this is what was hyping me up, because what KC did responding to the play in mid lane was exceptional. The fact that G2 somehow is able to commit even harder is insane. I mean, this is really, maybe I'm freaking a dumb Emerald player. I just hit Emerald 4 again, and I'm trying to get Diamond this season, and more perhaps. Maybe I'm just dumb and I'm like, I'm finding this impressive, but obviously the rest of the LEC that I've been watching this year has not played this fucking coordinated, this fast to pull the trigger. Insanity, ridiculously impressive. And I believe, I was just about to say what annoys me about BB is he keeps picking off meta top laners to counterpick, but to me it's just like, why don't you just do better in these like handshake picks where you're losing on purpose, but at least you have a more use in team fights. Like again, I referenced the Lee Sin into Rumble from earlier this split or Warwick last year, but maybe I have to eat my words because the Shen ult was incredibly helpful, and if this play is the only justification, it might be enough to prove the Shen pick was worth it. Okay, anyway, just wanted to read out what I had written. That was again written in real time. Okay, coming up to 1630. How did I not write about this play? Excuse me. What is this here? This is like, this probably will jog my memory in a moment. Oh no, because I think they escape. I think Yike escapes. No, he doesn't. What the hell am I saying? Oh, is it 15-6? Skewmon just 1v1ing Yike despite... Oh, no. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is my mistake here. So, I must have just written the wrong time code. So, yeah, look at this play here. So, even though Yike gets the flag and drag, Skewmon ults, and he literally just completely 100-0s Yike. Absolutely fantastic. Even though he's not even that far ahead in gold prior to this. I guess... No, it's Sundered Sky versus Sundered Sky. I don't understand. It's just... I guess it's just Aatrox diff. And then, what's it called? This play, I forget if they get the Mbessa. I think they do. No, they don't. Do they? Wow. No, they call it off. They call it off, right? Yeah, they call it off. They do or they don't. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, no, they do. Okay, cool. Anyway, that's that. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, according to my notes here, I think there's no real crazy plays until we get to, let's see if I landed on it just by complete chance. Oh, I skipped it a little bit, but okay, right here. It's I literally actually landed on right where I wanted. So again, I'm really impressed by both teams and how fast like a fight breaks out and they're willing to TP or like get there, right? So Broken Blade is in the bot side with Kana and he takes the trade, which is not in his favor right now. I guess just looking at it, he's 1 level behind and an item behind technically. Yeah, just a complete item behind because Mbessa has the Black Cleaver and Shen does not have, I guess it's Dusk and Dawn or something? Yeah, it's Dusk and Dawn, I think, which I don't know what Shen gets off that, but that's not important. Anyway, Caps immediately TPs, and literally I would have originally said that freaking Broken Blade was inting, but look at that. They turned the play. Really, really impressive stuff from G2. It takes a second, but they end up getting this kill. Damn, Kana almost gets out. That's nuts. Okay. Let's see here. We get into, oh, okay. This is a really cool play, I believe, over the dragon. So again, the Kalist, he's keeping up, but I guess Caitlyn has more range, so I think she's more intimidating than a Lucian. A Lucian is more like early to mid game, and then you just want to snowball and end the game quickly. You don't really want a Lucian like as your hyperscaling late game carry. But Kalist does find some value on the pick in this next exchange in just a moment. So as they're all fighting for mid control, some pressure in, the bot half of the jungle because Dragon's spawning in 15 seconds. Look at how Kalist opens up onto Caps here. It's any second now. Am I crazy? What the hell? I have it in my notes. It should be like, sorry guys. It should be right here. So he opens up. And also, what's really interesting, I didn't notice this the first time, because it's really his WQ, or no, I don't even know if he hits his Q, but he's missing a lot of these ultimates, so had more of those hit, it would have been really deadly. Insane moment there where Kana nearly ults Caps, but Caps is able to, I think he flashed out of it, right? So he barely dodges that. Really great stuff from Caps. Skewmon also trying to hold back against the line. So things not looking super duper good just yet, especially with Yahoo, diving in. But then, no, it's so funny. Now I'm just watching this raw low key. Oh, Broken Blade gets popped. Why did I think this was like a hard stomp? Because I remember thinking like, wait, damn, what the hell? I literally wrote no more notes. Oh, wait. No, what the hell? Where the hell did my shit go? Okay. Well, let's start. Let's just watch the last fight here together. So, Kalist is going to open up onto Hansama. Wow. Shreds Hansama and Lebrov. Whoa. What happened there? So, yeah, Yikes at about half. Gets tagged again. Brings him really low. Hansama E's. And it seems like that almost gets him over the Cataclysm wall. Just pops Yike. We get TPs here. Broken Blade kind of taunting Kana here. Skewmon getting really low, but then pops the ultimate. I'm basically doing play-by-play. All I wrote in my notes for this one game at the end of it is bro, this is unreal. This gives me confidence that G2 can do well internationally. Which, by the way, I still stand by because I was all of these trigger pulls into the 5 of them being in one place at once and also being able to play together and win these team fights. I've been very impressed. Skewmon obviously has a very versatile champion pool on top of all that. Because I believe playing Aatrox is not the easiest jungler to kind of pick up and use. I really do apologize because I literally wrote, I'll show it to you. I wrote, bro, what? And then I wrote, this is unreal. This gives me confidence that G2 is going to do well internationally. But the last play was the 25-10. Anyway, whatever. When does this break out? When does the it's actually probably right here because I know that they ended games pretty fast once it was the trigger was pulled. So they ult Yike. Yike has to flash. Kalist's ultimate does not really land on too many people, so it ends up not being super successful. Broken Blade's taunt ends up dragging Yahoo out of the fight. Now they have control over the river.
That is a nice headshot that comes through from Hansama. G2 are winning the war of attrition. They are chipping away at Caitlyn traps are doing some serious work.
Dude, I'm trying to remember what happens here. Oh shit. What am I saying? I'm just commentating for no reason. Sorry guys. I swear to God, I feel like I'm high. I'm did I miss something? I didn't even... Is this game 1? Maybe that's what impressed me. I think I remember this. But they don't end off this. They get the Baron. I'm so annoyed because I want to talk about this, but I don't remember these moments as well as I do the later ones. Oh, look at that fucking Shen ult that just freaking saves Caps at the last second. Wow. Broken Blade literally uses the stand united. No, that was that. Oh, that. This is probably why I was like, yeah, G2 freaking are gonna win first stand. Anyway, so they did very well, especially the gold gap. The gold gap gets pretty insane towards the end of the game. Although before that play, I'm curious. Yeah, it was like 5K. Although I guess the Baron really did turn into something. Anyway, not super important. G2 wins. I was feeling hella confident. We go into game 2. There's a pause. Okay. So we get the dreaded Seraphine Ashe from G2. It was so funny the other day when I was making my Vitality video. I was like, why the hell did they put Carzzy onto Seraphine? And it was supposedly because the Ashe Seraphine was so dominant that it was better for Vitality to take it for themselves and kind of put their own AD carry at a detriment than to allow it to go into the hands of the enemy team. Whatever. So. Oh man, there's genuinely some really insane plays here. So my first note, Kalista and Busio do a really good job of equalizing the lane. In fact, Ezreal is ahead 300 gold, which surprised me because I would have thought that you know, Ashe Seraphine would just completely dominate. But as we get further into the game, we'll see that Ezreal really starts to run away with a bit of a lead here. I think the Karma was also an excellent pick here as well. Oh man, I mean, I'm so sorry, I'm not to hype you guys up over and over again, but we are really in for a treat in just a moment. Let's just jump forward. So yeah, so around like 4 minutes or something, look, this is where we're already at a full 300 gold, a whole long sword up on the Ezreal. Now 5 minutes we're about to see in just a second. So Caps on the Taliyah, low mana, low HP, but he has Scumon in the area. He goes for something of an all-in or a trade onto Yahoo, but then beautiful catch onto Caps, getting his flash. Yeah, of course. Yeah, getting his flash with sacrificing Yikes flash in exchange, but definitely worth it. Okay, the next big play is at 7 minutes here. Much that we can do to impact middle towards that. So once that's where a lot of those the top side. Okay, it's right here. Oh, this is so nuts. I'm sorry guys. I should have had this a little bit better prepared, but we're fine. We're fine. Okay, check this out. Gets that launch. So ridiculous to ult in the middle of the lane. That is so ridiculous. Just to slow down Yahoo a little bit. Just to slow him down a little bit. Gets his Q. Then he has Scumon's Q. Look at that. Look at how he barely survives. 18 HP. Was that the lowest he got? Or did he get even lower? 13. That's so crazy. Unbelievable. The things that Caps is about to do with the Taliyah wall in this game, you guys are going to be very impressed. Another big moment. So I will say, of all the people that play top lane Yasuo and of all of Broken Blade's like weird top lane picks, I gotta say, I think Broken Blade might straight up be the best Yasuo top, because Jesus Christ, look at this play right here. A small but sizable CS lead in the top lane. He's really leveraging the shield passive. BB win. Oh yeah, so he's out. Okay, I was just pointing out that he wins out the 1v1. Where's my note here? 940, right? Okay, so check it out. So Scumon is starting to run up to this play, as is Yahoo. He flashes, but then he gets into the Realm Warp, immediately knock up, ults him, Scumon's there, they kill him. Ridiculous. Ridiculously cool play. With the Ashe ult also fired away. And again, like I said, it's like they are ready to pull these freaking triggers. Alright. Next big play, it actually is once again the freaking Yasuo. Look at this all-in from BB. Immediately ults. This is actually... hold up. Because I remember this. And I swear, this is actually really nuts. Hold up. He ults him, but Yike is on the way. But so is a ridiculous something. I don't want to spoil it. Look at that. Gets the Gwen. Oh. Here I am hyping up that what's it called? That something crazy happens with the Yasuo, but he ends up getting beat up. Check out Caps here. Look at that. Not only does he throw the unraveled earth, which already would have stopped Yike. Yeah, that's awesome, whatever. But it's actually even better than that. He also gets the flick still, which throws him behind him. Dude, any other Taliyah, dude, would be immediately retreating, but instead he knows to run to his tower. And then look at this. He ghosts, so he ends up turning this into a kill on Kana. Freaking awesome, dude, I'm telling you. Alright. flying over to, yeah, man, I'm even thinking about it now, I'm like a little bit disappointed in the Hans and Lebrov Ashe Seraphine, because not a lot happens there.
Almost a full gauge who come in a huge amount.
Seeing in this game that I think, ooh, hang on a minute, Yike has got to back away.
Does he have a Viscerate? Can he get over this wall? He's the black. Can he?
Okay.
Was stunned on the way, but unable to really be chased too much more.
So we get the Realm Warp. Lebrov flashes it. Look at that! That is so nuts. He flashes it. Yahoo flashes it. Hansama saves his support. Lebrov sidesteps. That was dirty. Look at this. Look at this. Hits him with the W. Hits him with the double E. I had to give Lebrov his credit, dude. Oh, we shit on Lebrov? That was nuts. That was nuts. That was nuts. Alright.
I definitely had some criticisms of Kalist yesterday.
They can start to rotate.
Okay.
Between the minions here, look, he was wall. Kana still pretty healthy.
So we're playing in the mid lane. Oh, wait. Here we go. Look at Caps here.
Might just be a play for turret plates. Kana dives in, Hallowed missed, able to keep him from that unraveled damage. Sides of his shove will get the knockback, but it's just the crystalline overgrowth from the plates.
What am I looking for? 1720. Yike and Busio flashes get burned. Oh, okay. So, okay. I was just making a note for myself. This isn't like necessarily an epic moment, but we get Yike flash there, and then we get Busio flash, and I believe this turns into a Herald most likely, right? Oh, this play. I'm sorry. This is the play that I was hyping up earlier, and please do bear with me with this video. So check this out. So Broken Blade's taking the fight, gets on the other side of the wind wall, flash. Q. That was so sick. I actually don't understand if he's... I think he... Look, he inputs a dash to get, like, the Yasuo's EQ, you know, as he's dashing Q Tornado. Flashes to get it on Yike. Ults him. The fucking Ashe ult from downtown lands on the Gwen. So now the Gwen is stunned. Yike, Broken Blade ease up to dodge Yike when he gets back from invulnerability. Skubon kills him. Now he's just free hitting onto Kana's Gwen. And Hansama comes in to finish the kill. I mean, just dirty. Absolutely absurd. Now, granted, I will say, especially in hindsight, KC is keeping it extremely close. But man, G2 is just playing freaking out of their minds. Yeah, that was just amazing. I think nobody dies here because, yeah, look at that. Look at Hans, like, no fear, no popping, no summoner spells. These AD carries are really pushing each other to their limits. I don't know, I'm just impressed by both of them. I might have jumped too far. No, I didn't. Okay. Dude, okay, this play, genuinely, because I'm reading my notes right now, this is such a stupidly cool play. Look at the bot side with Broken Blade and Kana here, right? Look at this. I know some of you guys that might have seen this before. Look at this. What are the odds? Like, that is just such luck at that point. You know what I mean? Like, Kana's a smart guy. I'm sure if he knew about this interaction, he would not just walk into the wall. Maybe he wasn't looking as he was walking. He uses the fucking millisecond of airborne off of Talia wall to get his ultimate. That's absurd, guys. That is fucking absurd. That is so cool. That is so ridiculous. They get the Baron off that play. They're able to survive this play. I remember this ends kind of good because look, they start chasing G2. Everybody's alive. It's all 5 of them here. Oh my god, look at Yahoo. Yahoo goes onto Hans, into ultimate, into Seraphine lockdown, into Skewmon. And by the way, if you guys aren't seeing in that bottom right corner, look at freaking by blue buff, Yike and Broken Blade going at it. The former teammates. And Yasuo just freaking stat checks him, gets the kill. So not only did they lose the Baron, they also got G2 got 2 kills. Freaking absurd. And then the last big play is like 2 minutes later, and you can't look at how they're sieging. You cannot tell me that you didn't think freaking G2 was just the series was over. The series was literally over. I don't know what conversation they KC had in the back rooms to recover this game because Jesus Christ, it was insane. Or recover the series, I mean to say. So look, so actually, I'm sorry, so let me rewind just a little bit. So G2 sieging as 4 with Caps splitting in the mid lane, right? Broken Blade backs, Hansama backs. Those are the two big AD damage dealers. Labrav and Skumon try to back as well, but then they get cut off. The backs still get inputted. Look how much time they buy. This looks like, oh my god, they're caught out. Maybe KC can turn this. And again, this is also just to speak to the fact that KC clearly never gave up, no matter how bad it looked. I mean, they were stacking dragons, so they were in a position to mount a comeback. But if they didn't even realize, it's like you're down 6.5k gold. It's insane. Look at that. He's getting chased. He's getting chased. Yahoo there. Yahoo realm warped. But now you have Caps. Did Caps flash forward after he also rode on the wall? He does. Why? That's absurd. I don't know what the reason for that was, but that was just cool for no reason. Unless I'm missing something. Unless he really didn't flash.
But will it be enough to help him escape? Does still have the flash. There's the Docious Weaver's wall TP. G2 are beginning to collapse.
I think he flashed unless it was a visual bug. Anyway, Busio goes down. Next goes Yike from Broken Blade again. I mean, this dude is just his father. And after they get all those kills, literally nobody on G2 dies. And I'm pretty sure this is the last play because I think they just walk it in. Don't they? Or I don't even know. I guess they go for a little while longer. Anyway, the point is, this series looked as good as over. Now it's time to get into the real spicy one. It's game 3. I'm already spoiling you guys a little bit. Caps goes Silas. Everybody's super hyped about it. Skumon on the Pantheon, which in 2025 was a champion that he helped popularize into the meta. He was supposedly the first professional player in 2025 to bring out the Pantheon jungle. And literally, it became like one of the most popular picks of last year and still relevant this year. And actually, I've been itching to play that champ. Okay. So, 3:15. Busio and Kalist are setting up a dive here. Yike just finished, and he's on his way too. Now, Skumon, I guess, was pathing top side. Was he? I don't necessarily have to, no, he was. He was topping to bot. He was pathing to bot, excuse me. Right? But they see this play. They see that they're setting up the dive, so Skumon starts to make his way towards it, right? And he also has a little bit of an advantage here. He has 2 long swords because he backed without taking Scuttle Crab, which is pretty insane. I guess that's, I don't know if he just wants to get back up there, kill Scuttle Crab, and then go to his camps or whatever. But he's coming. Look at that. So Labrav hits, even though Hansama's rooted, Labrav hits a flip onto Busio so that he gets locked up a little bit. Locks up Yike as well. Skumon here hits Kalist. Q in a second. Q's the Nautilus. And they get the Kalist. 2-0 for Skumon, and he immediately backs with this new gold. Like, for him to know to first of all have backed, because if he was up here taking the Scuttle Crab, I don't know how he knew to get that tempo. Like, because if he was taking Scuttle Crab, he would have been absolutely late. Look at how late Yike joins this. By the time Yike's moving, Pantheon's already there. That's crazy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. By the time Yike's moving, this would have been like Pantheon maybe over here or something, but Pantheon's over here. He's making it to the play. And he has 2 long swords and a full health bar. Although granted, Yike had a full health bar too. Anyway, just a really cool play from Skumon. But then it gets better. So look, so he now starts the full clear bot here. Pantheon does.
The back and forth between these bot laners is consistent.
Now we get an exchange from Yahoo and Caps. Skumon comes in. W's, E's, gets the play. I gotta say, I didn't think Caps and Skumon had synergy last year. They got some freaking dirty ass synergy there. I love how they both just like believe that they can do the damage. Really, really freaking cool. Okay, check this next part out. This early game, I literally was like, it's fucking over. Skumon is so super fucking ahead. Yeah, I was literally convinced. Okay, Skumon gets level 6 off of his Krugs. You're gonna see it pop over in just a second. He just hit 6.
Skumon with those 2 early kills in the
Ults in. Ults in to cut off Kalist and Busio. Labrav target selects. He's like, fuck Busio. Look, I believe he flashes forward, or no, he doesn't even have to. Flips him. Gets the W. Goes right in. And then watch this. He flashes and then hits him with the Q. It's a 5-0 start for Skumon. I mean, it is over, dude. Over. Gets his flash, gets the Q. This game should be as good as done. Okay. My head is starting to hurt, but I gotta go through a lot more notes. So this is where it gets exciting. So, some analysis here. So when they see, look at Rumble. So Rumble is really what initiates. It sounds like I'm talking about a previous play, but this is actually the setup for the next play that happens. So Rumble has the lead, has the push, puts a pink ward into this bush right here in Skumon's blue side, right? As soon as Yike sees this gank happen, he recognizes that he's not going to be able to get here in time to make a difference. So he starts running immediately to Skumon's blue side to try and get something back. Skumon backs. He starts beelining it for just his general top side of the map. I mean, all his camps are coming up, right? So he's pinging that he's going. Here's where, what's it called? Here's where overconfidence starts to come in. Because Skumon, so your blue got taken, dude. All right, no big deal. But instead, he should have recognized that Kana has the move before Broken Blade does, for example. Yahoo, I mean, Caps is kind of there at the same time, so it's not as severe. But the big one is the classic fucking Busio somehow being here. Perhaps perhaps Busio knows that Yike's invade is risky, so he's already on it, making the roam to this play. So it's a 4v3, and the fold 3 from G2 aren't even here yet. I understand to an extent feeling almost invincible as Skumon here and thinking you can punish or should be punishing Yike for this invade, but this play costs Skumon and G2 so much because he dies here, and he also gives up a 300 shutdown, right? So now Yahoo on the Ahri, which he is exceptional at, is about to get ahead, right? Now, that being said, I believe, oh yeah, this is another really great play coming up in just a second. And I was ridiculously impressed by this. So check this out. So up top, Rumble, oh no, sorry. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry guys, I actually have to jump to game 4, game 3. I have to jump to this because for whatever reason, on the live broadcast, it gets cut out. Like you guys wouldn't be able to see it, but just bear with me for 1 second. But you see, I was prepared, so you guys didn't have to lose any time. Okay. So here,
towards top hovering.
Look at this. I knew this in my head. I didn't have it in my notes. I'm ridiculously impressed that Kana had the awareness. How did I write it? It's impressive that Kana flashes almost instantly when he sees Ornn ult appear. Likely a player of his caliber is also aware that there is a Pantheon on the enemy team, meaning he has to be extra cautious when massive spells like Ornn ult are unexpectedly used. Because without Pantheon ult, Kana should not be flashing a long distance Ornn ult. But Skumon looking here to freaking extend his lead, use his pressure on the map. Excellent, and he now still is maintaining a 1.3k gold lead even though he just gave up a shutdown. Immediately afterwards, really crazy play in the mid lane. So Caps and Labrav look to kill Yahoo. Oh fuck, I really overanalyzed this next one. So I was really impressed, and I noticed this from Skumon too, but Yike immediately... Oh my god, wait, hold up. I want to show you this on... Let me see if I can find it. Am I able to show you guys here? No, I can't. Okay, hold up. Sorry, one more time. I can get rid of these two because these are from games 1 and 2. So immediately afterwards, right? Labrav was roaming up. The thing is, he gets caught on this really key piece of vision right here. This bush right outside of the red buff, right? So now Yike knows that he's going to be there, so he's sprinting to the mid lane, right? He's sprinting. He also hugs this top side of the wall so that Labrav does not see him. So I think Labrav and Caps are operating with complete confidence because they don't know that Yike is here yet. Oh my god. I've also been so ridiculously impressed that Yahoo, I probably wrote this in a note somewhere else, but he holds onto the charm. See, most other people, like, they see Caps go for this, like, initial kind of dash, and they would immediately, I mean, every single other Ahri would throw out the charm, but instead he throws out the Q. It kind of accomplishes the same shit, does a shit ton of damage, then he uses the Q at the most opportune time, and bang. Yike there to freaking match the play and turn it into a kill for them and not for G2. Oh my god, ridiculous. How the fuck did I write all this? Granted, Yahoo on Ahri has been such a treat. Caps goes in, so you see him, he kills him. Damn, I guess I just, what the fuck? What did I write? Oh, Yike really impressed me, constantly pressuring the map, which, if you know, you've heard from my previous videos, Mickey had made note that Yike was not always the best at this at the beginning of G2, and with my limited knowledge of supports will sometimes come out of base sprinting mid. Oh, that's literally what I was saying, that they sprint mid, whatever. Also, Yike's reaction to Scumon's insane early game pressure was to focus on... So, Yike's reaction to Scumon's early game pressure was to focus on clearing camps. So, yes, Yike has his Krugs almost back up, like in this instance, right? He's kind of technically... I don't think it really makes that big of a difference, but for tempo reasons, you'd want to go to your Krugs here, but Yike recognized that the mid play was worth way more. But you can also see he's slightly up in CS, and he continues to be throughout the rest of the game. So anyway, whatever. Just wanted to point out that, he really, in my opinion, is doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing in a game state like this. He immediately moves... anyway. And I think it's also, first of all, I compliment the brilliant vision setup from KC. I also compliment Yike especially because they're down 0-2. I think anybody else's mental would be absolutely devastated with Scumon's lead, but either they had the faith that they would have better scaling than G2 would, especially since mainly Pantheon and Silas especially are more so single target, whereas you have Yike and Rumble and... Jin and Ahri are also kind of single target, but they have like the Q that can go through multiple people, whatever, you get the idea. Anyway, KC just never gave up on themselves, and that part really, really impressed me. Let's go back to the better quality that we have here. So I'm going to jump up to, yeah, you see that jump? That was not me, that was just the live stream itself. Okay. The information Labrov was able to garner. So here, oh yeah, this is like horrible. Scumon just starts taking the Rift Herald, which I think is absolutely atrocious. Now, granted, I guess Ornn is kind of playing up a bit, pushed up, and he probably thinks or realizes, because he inspects, if you see in a few seconds, I think he walks up here, at least I thought he did. What's it called? Oh, no, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Maybe this is also the game where he fucks up with the Rift Herald, but that's not what he does here. Here, Scumon takes the final grub, which reveals that he's on the top side, and then he still goes for a play in the mid lane. So look, he took the grub, so now Yike and the rest of KC know, okay, so Scumon's on this side. Yike sees him, right? But then Scumon stays here. Then Yike W's over. Now, I guess I realized that Yike technically doesn't know that he's about to run into Scumon here, right? But he sees him, immediately pops ult, right? So now Scumon's kind of caught. Again, Yahoo sends out the Q instead of the charm. Anybody else would have been like, oh, I gotta charm this Pantheon. We kill the Pantheon, kill the Pantheon. But no, they don't. Bucio's also at the play, of fucking course. He fucking ult caps, which, yo, let me tell you something. I mean, listen, I am literally dog shit at the game, but I just don't understand how people, like, literally always, like, kind of hit the champion they want to hit, because I constantly freaking see enemies on my screen and, like, ultimate the wrong person or something if it's, like, point and click. Funny enough. Anyway, he ults Caps, which initially knocks up Labrov, then finally lands the knock up onto Caps himself. Caps has the Nautilus ultimate as well, so he ults Yahoo. Yahoo charms Caps, though, so even though he's knocked up, freaking Caps can't do anything because he's CC'd. Immediately gets jumped on by Yike, who then ults, and now Caps has nothing to do. And then the freaking extended Q freaking auto attack kills Caps, securing the kill for G2. I was gonna say something in my notes about I was gonna say something in my notes about Scumon kind of being selfish here and not continuing to play with the team, but I don't think he would have been able to make a difference. I think again it was just like, why are you staying here when you literally saw Yike? He's just kind of showing no respect to him and still like kind of insisting on making more plays. maybe the logic is that Yike on Wukong has better scaling and better team fight, you know, but and that Skumon does have to look for picks and has to keep looking for ways to accelerate his lead. But I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me. It just again seemed overconfident. So yeah, did not like that. Anyway, and again, the charm moment from Yahoo was honestly sick. Okay, we jump to. And this game, I hope you guys are enjoying this and understanding the value of what I'm trying to do here, is that this... So, the first 2 games, awesome, extremely entertaining, anime-esque moments. The fights were insane. Game 2 was a stomp. Game 1 was closer than I completely forgot that it was so close. This game, though, was a stomp that turns into KC's resilience and ability to make a comeback. This is just cool as hell. This makes me feel like G2 actually has contenders within the region that can actually push them to get better. And that's not to say that KC can't also win a split, or MKOI either, although MKOI I definitely am losing faith in. But you know, I was just really happy about this. Okay, this is the Rift Herald play that I was talking about earlier. My apologies. So as we witness here, Skumon, I believe, walks... I could have swore he... Oh, here. I'm sorry, guys. You see, right here, he walks into the jungle just to see if the crows are up or anything, see where Yike is. I guess Skumon gets a sense that Yike is in the bot side, so then he immediately starts the Rift Herald on spawn. The thing is, your mid laner, what's it called? Well, let's actually focus on top lane for a second. Yike is, oh my god, Yike, Jesus Christ. Broken Blade is losing this matchup against Kana. Not horribly, but it's not, you know, a great looking fight, and Kana would probably rotate faster because he could push the wave, etc., etc., and probably have more value. Yeah, because look, Rumble immediately starts to sprint to this play. We have, dude, I pointed out this ward here a few minutes ago because this ward ends up paying off when Yahoo TPs to it. A ward that Skumon did not see all the way back then. So now they completely just leash the Rift Herald for KC. They take it uncontested. And then I'm realizing where it gets really, really bad is in just a second. So Skumon kind of loses his mind. Yeah, okay, I guess he does fulfill his back. He gets the Black Cleaver. So I guess in his mind, he's like, we can punish Yike. Because then he ults onto Yike for no reason. And just look at how this backfires. He ults onto Yike, who, if you have an idea of champion mastery, which I know Skumon knows how to play Wukong. I actually really like his Wukong. Yeah, Yike's going to W this and get out. So now you're dealing with a Yike with a full health bar, 1 level up. Yeah, you have Black Cleaver, but is that going to be enough? Now you have Broken Blade, who's trying to help you. He does the Ornn ultimate, but look at that. First of all, you get hit with the equalizer for a little bit, and then just raw Q. He has Merc Treads and whatever the hell this item is called, which is a full magic resist item. And Broken Blade just gets completely shattered. Skumon uses ultimate for no reason. Yike just walks out and now just goes straight to his camps and just keeps clearing. Horrible play from Skumon. Starting the Rift Herald raw, followed by then like overcommitting to try and, you know, I no disrespect to Skumon, and I talk about it a little bit later that I'm a bit critical of him, or very like conscious of the decisions that he's making. But yeah, they're just like, I don't know, like he's supposed to be really hyped up, and I don't know, this was his game to carry and he loses it, and it could have cost him the series. Alright. And at this point also, by the way, it's very important to note that Skumon has made so many mistakes that at this point, Yike and him are about even in gold at this point. And again, like I said, he has a slight, not even a slight, about a half level advantage over Skumon. So at any given moment, he could be at least a level up on him. Woo! Alright. 17 minutes. Why did I... okay, no, that's just me making a note for myself. Alright. What is this Ornn ultimate? What? How did I not write about this? What a terrible ultimate. Like, it's literally just ultimate for ultimate. I guess you get the Ahri out of lane, but Ahri's just so far ahead, she's just not going to care about backing. Look at the confidence from Kana to just immediately TP. And I think Broken Blade dies here, unless he flashes. No, then he gets the freaking TP from Caps, I believe. But Kana gets out. Unless he doesn't. Oh, he flashes out. Oh, I mean, that's probably why I didn't write about it, because that's crazy. But, okay. Here's where... Excuse me. Sorry, fuck, I'm getting a little tired. Here is where things get really, really crazy. So Skewmon and all of G2 feel the pressure to, again, make another play. So they ult in here to try and get Kana. Oh, Caps took Nautilus ult, so that also adds to the knockup. They get the kill, but then Busio somehow gets in range of Caps, hits the Nautilus ult, which then knocks up Skewmon. Skewmon then gets hooked by the Nautilus. Now he's the only blue anything that's underneath red tower, so now he starts getting tower shot. Yahoo freaking TP'd in. He ults to dash closer, and he hits the charm onto Skewmon. So now Skewmon gets killed under tower once again. And then actually this continues. I think Busio hits this Q. Yep. Hits it. Gets the charm. Lebrov near... No. Lebrov does die. So disgusting. Because Busio freaking holds it. And then look. I literally wrote in the notes. I remember this now. This is so cool. I like that I'm remembering my own notes here. Because I don't even have to look at them. Dude, I hyped up Alvaro saying that he was like the freaking GOAT of like engaged supports, and that Busio maybe is the one that's stronger on range supports. But dude, Busio's playing good on both, dude. Busio's straight up playing good on both. He hooks onto Hans, gets the hook, and yes, he does die, but it also allows Yahoo to freaking hit the flash charm. Oh, and that, I mean, technically he wasn't going for Caps. I think they were really all gunning for Hansama. Because I was like, how did he predict that Caps was going to be there? But he doesn't. He's just trying to get Hansama most likely. But they'll take freaking Caps. Doesn't make a difference to them. Also, damn. I didn't even realize on the top side that Yike solo bolos fucking Ornn with full HP too. Damn. I guess he has freaking Black Cleaver maybe? No, he doesn't. He just has Sundered. Damn, it's crazy. Alright. So at this point, there is literally no more lead. In fact, KC is massively in the lead, despite, again, the fantastic early game. We get to 22 minutes, and we're talking about a fantastic play from Busio. So what I say here is, I think what impresses me the most is how KC is closing the distance so fast. When Jin is making plays and doing damage from far away, it's like, what do you even do? But what am I referencing? Oh, that I remember now. So he hex flashes over the wall, gets the ultimate. Hansama commits the flash and the W, but then he gets knocked up. That was so ridiculous. Like, I genuinely don't understand. I feel like this, again, there's a few moments where it's just straight up unlucky. Because how does this W... Look at that. The charm connects onto Lebrov, but you're telling me that the root landed onto Hansama? I mean, that was just ridiculous. The Q rips through both of them, especially hitting Hansama. Then you get the equalizer from the Rumble. Then you get the hook from Busio. They get onto Hans, and then one more root. The charm dies. They go straight to Baron here, uncontested. And then on top of that, I guess Caps is trying to get something in return, but this ends up costing him his life. I don't know why he would commit his life to just like taking the last wave. I guess he really doesn't think he can escape. Or he underestimated Rumble's damage, but that's just like absurd. Yeah, maybe I think he underestimated Kana's damage. I mean, I would have just tried to get out of there, I guess, but whatever. Anyway, all right. Jeez, I'm realizing like I'm so excited to get to the last few plays that I really want to talk about. If Game 3 was the only game you watched, you'd think... Oh. I said, if Game 3 was the only game you'd watched, you'd think that... Which is this one. You would think that Caps is washed. Because look at that fucking equalizer. What is he hitting? He doesn't hit the wave. He doesn't hit Rumble. I don't know if he thinks that somebody's over here. Doesn't do shit. Skewmon fucking ults again. Kana, all he has to do is drop an equalizer and Zanya's. Now they've lost so much fucking health. And out of nowhere, look, all the way from here... Hits the W despite the Hextech Rocket Belt. Skewmon does not block the shot for Caps. And then Skewmon ends up getting caught here. The supports trade with each other. But then Yike hits the awesome fucking Cyclone. Skewmon dies. I think Lebrov gets somebody back. I think they get Kana here. Yeah, they get Kana in return. Which is like, it's good, but it's like whatever. At the end of the day, KC still is like hella ahead in this play, and it's really just like G2 just playing horribly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the last play that we're to go over in this game, I think everything stays hella chill. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Apologies. Yeah, I think everything stays hella chill until 30 minutes. And then shit breaks out. So they're all posturing. Here, Caps, I said that he misses his E onto Yahoo. No, it's not here that this fight breaks out. Is it up top? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Look at this. Look at Caps. Look at Caps. Look at Caps. Okay? He E's forward, misses. All Yahoo had to do was slightly sidestep. Then he hits his charm and he just starts walking away. He does pop ultimate because Caps pops ultimate, but there you go. He gets out. Ult's forward. He does miss the charm onto Labrav because Labrav barely gets, you know, out of the CC to make it out. Caps looks to freaking try and catch on to Yike, but he fails to do so. Yike's freaking sidesteps the E, but then Caps does sidestep the Jin W. Labrav with a third shot, not even a fourth shot, takes down like 15% of his HP. Equalizer, ripping into them. The Ornal hits Callist, but doesn't accomplish anything. Yike dashes forward, hits the double Cyclone into another Cyclone, into the charm for Skumon. So Skumon goes down. He has GA, but still, it doesn't matter. They kill Labrav. Literally, if you guys are seeing this, nobody on... Oh, okay, one person. Who was it? Freaking Rumble. Rumble's the only one that dies, but they literally ace G2, and they win this game where they literally had a 5-0 or maybe 5-1 kill score lead. So yeah, really, really not great stuff from G2. Playing a little sloppy in game 3. Okay. Let's jump forward. We're almost there, boys. Almost there. Okay. So, at 51 seconds, this is actually kind of crazy. So at 51 seconds, Yike... Huh? Oh, I guess it was earlier. Yike initially runs into the Raptors, right? Into G2's red side to put down a ward. Now, Skumon, I don't think knows this, but what he does know is that there's likely no vision in this side, like right, like the tri-bush and everything like that. So he sneaks in and just full clears Yike's side of the jungle. So that by around like 2 minutes, Yike arrives to go take his wolves, and he realizes that everything's gone. He goes to contest Skumon's Raptors, and Skumon smites it. Yes, Yike gets like 2 crows or whatever. But Skumon then, I believe... Oh, yeah. Oh my god, this is so fucking nuts. Let me read out what I wrote, because this is actually crazy. Okay, I am not sure what the full plan is here from Skumon, but he goes from the bot side tribe, so he sneaks in, right? My theory is that Skumon knows that Yike's going to want to path down, right? Which he does. Gnar doesn't have amazing gank setup till 6. Teams most likely want to accelerate bot lane anyway, especially ones with engaged supports like Rakan, and everyone wants to play for dragons. I would have assumed that Renekton would have been pushed in against the ranged Gnar, and that would nicely set up for a dive for Yike, but Renekton could be difficult to dive because of his stun. That could be used when, you know, the enemy team goes under tower for him, and maybe Yike is recognizing that Callist and Busio will lose the lane matchup because G2 has double range in the bot lane. Long story short, Skumon sneaks into the blue side undetected, takes all the camps. But really the insane part is that then BB, after shoving the first few waves, immediately, look, he is on the way down. That is ridiculous. It gives me the sense that there's a lot of like early game planning. Because I said... immediately roams mid, which is a huge risk, so I assume G2 has really good early game planning with this comp. Yike goes to invade Skumon back, checks, whatever. Yahoo steps up as he's initially winning the matchup since Caps' health bar is so low, but BB gets behind him, and while they also do all of this while burning none of their flashes, so none of G2 burns their flashes. Meanwhile, Yahoo had to... flash to scatter the weak, and now just like that, Yahoo goes down without G2 losing any of their flashes, and BB can just run right back up, and this is them playing through mid and getting Caps ahead. I never watched the next note. Oh, So I said, I never watched Caps in his theoretical prime back in 2019. I started watching Caps or G2 and LEC in 2020, late 2020 at that. But in 2024 and even in other times like 2022, Caps had his moments where he still felt like mechanically he was insane. But man, mechanically he's just been messing up some little things. Like look at how he mistimes his scatter of the week so he doesn't push back Yahoo. So now he has to burn his flash for absolutely nothing and it forces him to reset. So he completely loses his advantage in the mid lane. I mean, he has gold advantage still, but still. Okay, the insane part is the game is then extremely tame for literally 10 minutes until we get to, look, no kills, just a few objectives exchanged, etc. until we get to the 12-minute mark. All right, there's a bit of trading here, but that's not the crazy part. Cap starts to roam up to this bush up here in top lane. They're setting up the dive onto Kana. They don't, excuse me. There was no vision, so I guess they don't know that Caps is there, although they should know someone's missing. And look, Yahoo's also looking to cover this dive. I think they know Caps is there. Maybe they think Caps is here. Maybe they think Caps is here because he did take the, Yike did take the blast cone to get over here. I don't know because he clearly looks completely caught by surprise. Yike flashes and connects the ultimate, which I'm shocked. I would have thought he was in range to connect the ultimate without it. I guess that is kind of far. But he flashes, ults, but boom, Broken Blade is right there after Caps flashes so that now Yike is really far and removed from Kana. Caps hits the ultimate. Now they continue to fight Kana. Both the health bars get so low. But look at that. Broken Blade flashes over the wall as soon as he's back up and manages to escape. And Skumon, who read this play as well, because look, he starts to move. He's always behind Yahoo, but not by much. And so he gets here in just the nick of time. And just like that, hits an E. I did not know the E had that much range if you hit the W. The only nitpick here is that he flashes forward to get past the E and I guess to hit Yahoo. But Yahoo has his flash, and I think if he held his flash, then he might have been able to flash to actually commit to the kill rather than just trading flashes. But, you know, whatever. Not a big deal. Okay, so that was obviously nuts. Okay, 1330. This I really, again, really do not like from Skumon. They don't have eyes on the vision. Skumon takes the hex gate forward. He sees that he's on vision. They see Gnar in the mid lane right here at 20 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago. They see Gnar, right? And so they should know that he's in the mid lane, capable of rotating, etc. He goes missing. He's also just coming from base, so it's very unlikely. I mean, that's a lot to track, but it's very unlikely that Gnar's backing. And yet, Skumon, for some reason, feels confident with just Labrov to try and take this blue buff. Like, you should just be dipping, bro. He shouldn't have even taken this, that ward. But maybe if he took that ward and then ran down to where Caps is, and maybe they set a trap, that could work. But, I mean, this is just complete int from Skumon. He ends up, Labrov saves him because Busio was going to do the grand entrance and knock up Skumon, and Labrov does the handshake and pushes him away. Skumon also does have the Crescent Guard. Watch this part's pretty crazy. Oh, yeah, the Scatter of the Week specifically stuns Gnar, but also pushes back Yike, so he's not able to get any closer. Skumon dodges that rock, I don't know what you call that ability, that Kana throws, and so they get out. But there's a lot of unnecessary spells burned for accomplishing literally nothing. I guess you get 30 gold from killing a pink ward. Congratulations. Okay. Okay. Oh, I said not much to say about this. Labrov is just in the bot side river and doesn't realize that Yike is there. He knows that Caps is there, so maybe he's thinking that he could just set up some vision, prepare for the Drake, you know, protect or shadow Caps. I just wanted to note it because it happened, but I don't think it's an actual mistake from Labrov, or at least not an egregious one. Alright. Yeah, I was gonna say, so 15-10. Am I crazy? I would have thought that Gnar would beat Renekton because he's ranged, but here is BB 1.2k gold up after he takes the first tower, which obviously it's not like he's currently actively 1.4k gold up. He's probably more like 500. He has a completed item. But still, it's just insane to me. But anyway, So he starts to all in Gnar here, but he doesn't realize that Broken Blade doesn't realize that Yike is in the area as well. But check this out. So Gnar is so low that, and especially now that he's in Mega Gnar, he cannot get close to this Renekton because this Renekton will literally freaking destroy him if he gets close. Yike is just auto attacking, but he's 3 levels down. The rock gets missed, but he does hit the stun. Gets hit by the Q. Gets the freaking, I think that's the Q, I think. Which gives Renekton a bit of a heal. E. I don't know what the fuck is the second E. Or I guess the dash is just, it could dash to anything. You don't have to dash to a target. So he manages to get out, which is just absurd. Now, one thing that I wanted to note here, and again, this is me being a little bit critical of Skewmond, is that BB is taking this play. Look, we have all the way here at 1505, and while BB is trying to solo bolo Kana, which granted, I guess you could say if Yike doesn't intervene, I think Kana dies, and I guess I would agree. But Skewmond is just taking the Rift Herald, and wouldn't it be better if they both were concentrating on the same play? Because then, if Skewmond was here waiting for this play to explode, they could have gotten Kana, and after that Q, get Yike too. Absolutely. Whatever. So, just a little note, and again, I say here, I know I've been seemingly overly critical of Skewmond to an extent. Granted, he seems to be the one that's making most of the mistakes in these G2 losses. I think it's because of how much attention and hype he's been getting and the position he's in. He's on G2 as their jungler, so the expectation is that he has to be better than Yike, Oyoya, and Inspired. He has to be the best option in the West, and he's been glazed a lot anyway, so I don't feel too guilty. But I'm not intentionally trying to badmouth him, and I think he's great, and I would love to see him improve anyway. Just wanted to put that out there. So these are more so questions and feelers that I'm putting out to see if anybody else in the audience has answers. Anyway, I also write, I go, just knowing that this game eventually goes to KC is so nuts because G2 are in such a strong position. There is a minor fight at 1735. Oh, yeah. This is a terrible fight. So, how did I... man. Okay, I'm trying to remember, because, I mean, maybe I should just read what I wrote, because... Okay, so what actually happens is that there's no Rift Herald, and Yike just tries to, despite being a level behind at the time, a level behind Skewmond, tries to outsmite him by surprising him with the Q and trying to get the smite onto the scuttle. Which I really give it to Skewmond, because again, the reaction time to like take that smite, even though he's not expecting Yike to be there, is really impressive. What happens here is that Yike is calling for Kana to come down first, which he is. The problem is, so Hans and Labrov just took the mid tower, and now Kalista's all the way back up there, right? So they're off of vision. So theoretically, the way they were posturing, although I don't know how much Casey was able to see this because I don't know if it was on vision, but you would assume that they're backing. So Yike is making the play. Let's kill Skewmond. We have first rotation. The problem is, I forget how they figured this out, but, I think right here maybe they start to see that Hans and Labrov have the first move into this river, so Kana just starts backing away. I almost felt like, shouldn't he have just committed to this play, but he doesn't. He just starts to run, so it just gets really awkward, and now you just have two 1v1s, which Labrov wins this one, and so does Broken Blade. Kana is only able to survive here, which makes it not as dramatic, but he now just went from literally straight coming from base, or no, I guess he wasn't from base. He actually was kind of, should have recalled, and then Skewmond's, Yike is the one that's like calling for him to stay, I think. Anyway, maybe it could have been Kana calling for it for all I know, but long story short, ends up being not as costly for Kana, but definitely costly for Yike. Okay. This next part, I think you guys are going to find kind of cool. Give me 1 second.
And they fought. And here they must do
1 second.
same. Not quite a miracle, but something, a close approximation to one.
1 second.
5,000 gold behind.
Okay, so, what's it called? So, basically, at 22:10, we're gonna see in a second, and I literally had to like stare at the minimap to make sure I saw this actually happen. Look at this. Rakan, aka Busio, walks into the mid lane. drops a ward when there's no wave there and there's no champion. So G2 is not aware of this ward whatsoever. What's crazy to me is that this gets paid off a minute and 30 seconds later, which I didn't even know yellow wards freaking lasted that long. Is it still up? Yeah, I forgot. I thought they were only up 90 seconds, but I guess I'm stupid. Okay, anyway. So look at this. So the ward's there. So what they're trying to do is Hansama's pushed up. KC is realizing this, so they want to go in on him, but now they see Skumon, even though Skumon thinks he's not seen, right? So now he steps up, but all of KC are here. Lebrov, this part's also insane. Lebrov thinks he has the flank and that he's cutting off the members of KC, but it's actually Kana who now cuts off Lebrov, forcing him to flash, and now they're pincering G2. Hold up, I gotta read my notes because this is actually I'm gonna put this at half speed or something because this gets really crazy, ridiculously fast. Okay. So 2350 is when KC starts pinging that they see Hans in the mid wave. So Kana goes from going top to going directly mid. Excuse me. Busio and Yehu start coming from bot, and Kana is really the one that catches G2 off guard because G2 is thinking they've cut off Kalist, but Kana turns G2's collapse into KC's collapse with his presence alone. He gets Lebrov to flash, loses the flank, and they lose the flank position. That's not even what turns the fight. It's literally oh, this is so incredible, dude. It is the most insanely small mistake from Hansama where it's literally the moment he steps just a pixel over the feathers that Kalist has established. Which also, what the fuck made Kalist go airborne? Oh, I mean, it's just a small route or whatever. But look at that. The second that Hansama steps just a bit too far forward. Look at that. Right there. Gets pulled. He's rooted now. That's crazy. Gets rooted. Rakan knockup into Charm. Into Vi unstoppable. Fucking cease and desist. Lockdown. Hansama dies. Completely turns the fight in just a moment. That was a moment where I was like, holy shit, Kalist is that guy. That reminds me of in 2025 when Kalist was like, I forgot who he was going against. I think he was on Draven or he was going up against a Draven. And they were like, why didn't you flash? And he's like, oh, I knew he didn't have enough mana to use his spell. And it's like, holy shit, Kalist is tracking that type of shit. That is ridiculous from Kalist to make that play there. Because it's like, some people might not think that's impressive. To me, I think that's insane. Sorry, my brother's in the other room making noise. What's it called? It's just insane the way that he reacts to Hansama stepping over. Like, you would think that it was one of the other members with their CC locking down Hansama. No, it's the enemy AD carry making the play. That's insane. What did I say? Yeah, okay. Hansama's popped. I rewatched this like 3 times before I realized that it was literally Kalista ADC who catches Hans instantly. Initially, is that why people are hyping this guy? Because goddamn. Okay, how Busio lives here. Look how low he gets. Not that this is like anything... I don't know if to say it's impressive or what, but look, he like barely escapes. I don't know how he doesn't get hit more. Okay. He gets like 100 HP. Now it's a 4v5 with KC having the much larger health bars. Oh, no. Sorry. I mean, I think the rest of this exchange is just kind of like whatever. Like, it's not, because nobody dies. Because, yeah, Nard does get that really good ultimate. But Broken Blade and Skumon are able to get out. Oh my god, this actually transitions into a crazy play. Okay. I know what we're talking about here. Okay, watch this. So now, Broken Blade and Skumon have to back, and KC pivots to the Baron, right? KC pivots. Busio's considering backing here, right? He stops the back because they see G2's members starting to arrive. The Baron is super duper low. I think the reason why Skumon and Broken Blade especially feel... I mean, maybe they would have backed no matter what, but I think the reason why they're able to get back to this play is because, one, Broken Blade has TP, and he has the unlocked TP, so now he gets a big shield when he comes back, and Skumon has the Hex Gates. So Broken Blade arrives with a shield, ults immediately, walks in like a Giga Chad, is about to freaking go rip Yike a new booty hole, and Yike cues Broken Blade to give him some CC, push him away, allow Kalist and I believe Kana to free fire. Immediately, despite Broken Blade dashing, flashes over. Now Broken Blade's trapped. Labrov puts the W onto Broken Blade so that he can get revived. This next part is nuts. We're going to talk about this in a second. But this next part is nuts. Caps finds Yike over the wall, throws the ultimate onto him, and it kills Yike, which is what revives Broken Blade. Now, Broken Blade ultimately dies just a second after this. But look, gets revived, but then he has like no HP, and then he just dies in like a second. Anyway, now, from Skewmon's perspective, Skewmon takes this Hex Gate, flies over, completely ignores Yike and Busio, and just focuses on getting the W into the E, into the Smite. Immediately pivots onto hitting Kalist. Kalist, what really impressed me is that, remember, this is still only seconds from that last fight where Kalist's E is the thing that pulls and kills Hansama. And this whole time never pulls the trigger on the ultimate. Usually, Zaya's, like, if they're seeing a group of, champions all grouped up, they will ult just to get all the feathers out, do some damage, and then maybe do a pullback. Now, maybe Kalist didn't have his E up, so maybe that's why he didn't want to do that ultimate in that team fight. But I'm just ridiculously impressed. Look, I think he still has Flash. Yeah, he still has Flash. So he is holding on to these spells. Imagine not burning Flash, instead burning ultimate, because ultimate has a lower cooldown. He really does have ice in his veins. They get the kill onto Skewmon. Caps here, I think, makes an uncharacteristic mistake, or maybe I think it's characteristic. I don't know what to say here. It's just here, I wish he had better recognition that this play was over, right? Because he ends up trying to chase Busio, and even like up to here, it's like, okay, Busio's over the wall. It's over. But he commits his Flash to this. And no, actually, it was bad. It was bad from here. So to be fair, it's not. I don't want to hold it too much against Caps. I think it looked like maybe Skewmon could get Kalist and turn this into a winning play or whatever. But I don't think he expects Kalist to die. At this point though, Yahoo's prepared to flash to catch Caps. So it's not like if he stayed here, he probably would have died anyway. Caps is then stuck over here. He can't get out. And the real reason why this is so devastating is because Caps has a 700 gold lead. So when I believe Kana kills him, Kana gets 1,000 gold in his pocket, which helps to equalize. So now a Baron power play that was at negative 160 ends at negative 1,500, which I don't even know how that makes sense. I guess because they're taking some plates or something, or some waves. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I guess an assist gold too. So yeah, that ends up being extremely costly. Really, really just generally crazy play from like both sides or whatever. I mean, KC played really well. G2 kind of made it look good, but then it ends up just going south. Okay. Real quick. I might have jumped way too far, I think. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I went too far for sure. No, I didn't. Fuck. Okay. Oh, no, I did. I'm sorry. Okay. We're almost there. Okay. This was earlier, just a few hours ago. I wrote, yo, at some point I physically cannot react to every single one of these plays because, wow, there's really so much to talk about. Okay. So it should be here. Yike. Oh my God. Get my play. Tough. Get your play-by-play ready. Broken Blade and Yike are fighting up here, right? They fight for a little bit. They separate. This is so crazy. Okay, there's the problem is that these fights are so dynamic that it's hard to point out everything. I mean, I shouldn't even be complaining, but just look. So Broken Blade TPs to this ward that's super behind because they're trying to get onto Kalist. Yike, they see this TP, so they're pinging it. So Yike is looking to cancel Broken Blade's back. So he Qs, jumps into the fucking, what is it? the bush and misses Broken Blade. Now the weird thing is he has ultimate, so I'm surprised he doesn't pop it here. I did say, you know, Broken Blade's 3 levels up, he has GA, he has Sterix. Maybe he thinks that, Yike thinks that like he'll just get completely rolled by Broken Blade. But granted, he also has Kana here, but maybe their goal is like protect the president, just focus on Kalist. I don't know. Lots of different decisions here, but he doesn't cancel the TP because he missed a Q. He accepts it and he moves on. Because look, he has a few seconds there. He just tags him, but that's about it. Skewmond, let's review the fight from a little bit earlier. Skewmond finds a W onto Kalist. And as soon as he gets that, boom, pulls the trigger, hits the ultimate so he can kind of separate himself from the rest of the team. Keeps going, does a lot of damage, but in the midst is also getting ripped up by Kalist because Kalist is within the Crescent Guard, so he's getting shot. So it's not like he's really being protected by that ultimate. It just did a bit of damage and pushed people away from Kalist. The thing is, though, now Kalist is really weak. He gets another E onto Kalist, Skewmon does, but then Skewmon gets charmed. Oh, charmed by Busio. Finally, Kalist decides to pop his ultimate only at the last second. He still has flash, but I don't think he sees or has time to react to Hansama, who, which is ridiculously impressive. Ults and EWs forward, I believe it is the ability, and pops Kalist with the empowered W before he has time to react with flash. I think it would have been insane if he did flash that though. Which also I'm like, I think you can flash when you're in Xayah ult, although I'm not 100% sure about that. Anyway, okay. So now I just need to remember how the rest of this fight plays out. Oh, Kana walks forward. Oh my god, this is so dirty. I mean, Kana's Gnar really is something else. Kana just walks forward. He's free hitting onto BB to get his Mega Gnar. Gets the Mega Gnar, just walks forward, ults. He doesn't E-ult or nothing. He just ults forward. Hansama's there. He E's on top of him, uses more spells, and now Hansama's out of the fight. They keep... Okay, now I have to like kind of rewind a little bit. This is a very dynamic fight, and I wrote literally, this is the whole breakdown of the fight. This is actually like, well, it's this whole thing. Anyway, so let's pay attention to Yike now here. So Yike uses his Q. He's considering going on to Skewmon. Last second pivot. Q flashes onto Caps. Caps has Tazania's. Labrav is trying to help him out here. I mean, they do get close to killing Yike, as you'll see in a second. But basically, as soon as Caps flashes, Yike hits him with the cease and desist, the unstoppable. This is actually kind of int by Labrav. I don't know how much of a difference this would have made, but essentially he does a cease, is it the cease and desist? I guess I said it right, just off the top of my head. The cease and desist, I think, gives every champion an attack speed steroid. And I didn't know this. I thought if you went berserk, I thought you would automatically, it doesn't matter if freaking you don't have any teammates alive. I thought you would run to your nearest teammate and try to hit them. Turns out that it's a range and that it's based on a proximity system. So if you have an ally within a certain range, that takes priority. But if, I guess, let's say the range is like this big, if you don't have an ally in that range, you just start attacking an enemy. And actually, in fact, I would actually give Labrav credit if like it made you prioritize minions, but it doesn't. He just starts to hit Caps. So Caps does get the W. Look at this. I know he gets hit with like, I think probably a Q or something, but look at that. He nearly kills Yike, which I think is absolutely absurd that Syndra could do that much damage. I mean, it's not absurd. I'm not actually mad about it, but it's just crazy that that's even possible. So yeah, so Yike almost dies there, but he ends up getting the kill. I think Labrav should have used the cease and desist here because that would have really changed the fight. Okay, what happens next here? I'm trying to... I know that Gnarl was huge. Oh, okay, so Skewmon jumps onto Yehu, but then Busio gets the knock up onto BB. Also, Yehu immediately had put down the gravity field so that Skewmon would be slowed, and then he's able to walk it out. He walks back. Kana dies here, but Kana has GA too, so Kana's fine. Yehu then pops Broken Blade's GA. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize at 32 minutes we'd have like that many GAs. Skewmon does get the kill onto Busio with an E, but Yike gets the kill back. And then Broken Blade, I mean, Yahoo makes a slight mistake by stepping too far forward. Maybe he didn't expect the damage output, gets popped, but then Yike pops him back. Overall, I think it's a 4 for 3 in KC's favor. Just absolutely scrappy, crazy fights. My head hurts and I'm getting tired. Okay. Enough complaining. I love this. This is my job. Okay. 34-48. I don't remember this actually. That they go for Baron low key? Or no, I guess they're just taking the wards. Okay, okay. So now G2 starts the this is the fight. Holy shit. Okay. G2 starts the Baron. Hold up, sorry. Can I okay, put the volume a little bit. G2 starts the Baron. They KC is starting to try and step into the river. Oh wow, I did not realize that they chunk Kaliss super hard before they even get it started. I think Kaliss maybe backs or something. Is this like the first attempt? Yeah. Does he successfully back or no? No, he doesn't. I guess he gets it canceled. So maybe now it's now that G2, yeah, okay, now I'm remembering now. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, G2 then steps into the Dragon Pit, or the Baron Pit. They start to take it. KC does not have vision in this bush, which is a very important bush, right? They don't even know who's in the Baron Pit at this point because they don't have any vision in there either. G2 set up really good vision, not only in the Baron Pit, so they know that KC's blind. They also set up vision here in the mid bush, so they see Kana about to face check. So Broken Blade steps in, does a massive chunk onto Kana. Kana goes down to about 60 HP. Here goes Labrov hitting the cease and desist, but Kana like barely ease out, so he doesn't end up auto attacking anybody. It only lands onto Yahoo, who ends up auto attacking, but it's freaking barely does anything to Busio, so we're chilling. The thing is, here Victor steps up and he drops a gravity field followed by an ultimate. Now that's one thing I was gonna say is that there was an ultimate in the last fight too. I'm not gonna go back and find it, no offense, but where Yahoo, I'm surprised because I'm really impressed with him in a lot of other scenarios. He uses the Victor ultimate as like a zoning ultimate, which is just surprising. I think it would be better as like that massive team fighting kind of cleanup ult where like you just start doing massive damage and get a kill, gets bigger, lasts longer, get a kill, gets bigger, lasts longer, whatever. He uses it as a zoning tool, and honestly, if that's what it was meant to do, it achieved its goal. And if you know what happens in this game, he didn't even need it after all. So maybe it was the right time to use it. Who knows? Now, the crazy thing is, so Kana E's this way, right? And then he starts to step into this bush here. He's hiding, right? He doesn't have Mega yet. He's channeling. Now, I don't know if G2 is keeping track of Kana, if they're assuming that he's backing because he's been chunked and that maybe he's going to TP back because he does have TP, if they're tracking that. Here, I did a whole like paragraph analysis. I deleted it because I ended up being wrong at the end of the day. But Kana hits the blast cone, and I said that maybe he had a mind game where he was trying to pretend like he was on the left side fleeing because G2 is now starting to move in as 5 to collapse on him. But then I realized that he actually kind of reveals himself by queuing here, which makes this next part an even more egregious mistake by G2 than it already is, or as it already turns out to be, because G2 all step into Kana, who, granted, I guess they don't also have tracking on where his Mega is at, but I think it's safe to assume that he was gonna get Meganar at some point, right? I guess their idea is that Busio's on this flank, maybe Skumon screaming that, I don't know. But I guess the thing is that there's a lot of great group ultimates, especially if Yahoo still had his, where you get a grand entrance, or the quickness, I mean, from Busio, which locks up everybody. Then you could set up for Kana's freaking Gnar ult, and then and then even Kaliss can jump in with his feathers fly or whatever. Point is, I guess G2 somehow, shockingly, despite being in a strong position, find themselves at a disadvantage where I guess they have more single target damage and stuff like that rather than the kind of group team fighting tools that KC has. So they step up and look at this flash ult, bang, hits 4 into the quickness, and I literally stopped overanalyzing because at that point they just kill everybody. They just kill everybody, and I don't even think anybody dies. I don't even think Yike dies. Or maybe his GA gets popped. Yeah, his GA gets popped. He lives. The only person that dies, somebody does die. Busio? Yeah, alright. Busio dies. Who gives a fuck, right? At the end of the day, literally all of G2 die, and Game 4 is over. And we're on to game 5. Guys, I'm tired. Are you guys fucking tired? I hope you guys appreciate it. Dude, I know I should literally throw this message at the beginning of the video, but if you make it this far, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. The video's not over, by the way. We're about to go into game 5, but leave a like and subscribe and shit. We're trying to hit goals, trying to become a YouTuber. Okay, game 5. Quick note, oh, I said I've been putting this video on long enough, so we're gonna kind of breeze through the early game and really just try and highlight the late game team fights, because those are the parts that I'm really, really excited to talk about. Okay. I am usually annoyed with BB's unorthodox picks. Sometimes I feel like he's in Mirwin territory where I'm just like, just pick a normal pick. But BB is doing well in lane. He's about to kill Kana and only doesn't because Yike ganks. But Yike's on Maokai, who doesn't do a lot of damage. So BB, despite being dismounted, can actually do enough damage and spells to remount. Then he follows Yike into the red side, and you can actually see that he kind of like... Oh, I thought he kind of did a stutter step to like hesitate, but I'm surprised that Yike just doesn't even give a fuck and just like walks away, not recognizing that Yike followed him into the jungle. We'll talk about that bot play in a second, but the reason is because the reason why Broken Blade went there is because they set up a dive onto Kana. Works out beautifully, and I believe, does Kana even, is he even able to get to the wave? He gets to some of it, so, all right. No, he actually loses most of it, so that's really good. The other play here is that Busio, who's usually been freaking stellar, makes a slight mistake. Lebrav is able to root him, and then Hansama gets his W, moves forward, and although the kill goes to Lebrav, Busio dies in lane. And this is going to be a running theme in this game that we'll see in just a moment. All right, we jump to 5 minutes 50. So here, Skumon, Lebrav, and Hans are all bot side river taking the scuttle. And likely they're positioning to take the first dragon, but then Yike freaking roots Skumon, I think? Or Caps, I think, to get in range. He flashes too. Scuttle smites to get the Scuttle Crab. Gets him level 6. Had he had Skumon won the smite fight, he would have been level 6. This is really impressive. I think it's like seems less impressive because it's a little bit less flashy, but he literally if he messes that up, Skumon gets 6 and Yike is just screwed. He's got no escape. He's got no tools. But instead, he does get the 6. He pops his ultimate. Then so does Yahoo. Skumon somehow survives this. Yike does go down. But look, Hansama flashes and still gets tagged as he's followed by the auto attack of Kalist. Nobody ends up taking Dragon, which kind of surprised me. But not important. Is what it is. All right, we jump to 9 minutes. Oh my god, believe it or not, I have so much to say more. This gets really crazy. This was a kind of an int play from Broken Blade. I guess, you know, he did think that he kind of had the wave shoved in, but I don't really know what Broken Blade was thinking in terms of like what he was expecting to run into. I think he was expecting to run into Yike because I don't think he was going to solo take a grub. He doesn't have anybody on his side of the map to help him. So he runs into Yike and ends up getting killed for it. He pops Flash. He pops a few things. So it ends up being really unfortunate. And it's kill over to KC. And yeah, I guess he didn't expect that Kana could rotate either. But Kana's just like, fuck it, this wave is down under my tower. I'm chilling. Okay, we jump to... Oh my god, this is a great play. Okay, check this out. So, this is going to happen in like 10 seconds. So this is really crazy. So, Lebrav pretends to be Skumon, aka Skarner. Look at that. Busio's backing, but he has a ward in Tribush. So when he sees Lebrav, he shoves Lebrav under his own tower, and then immediately flashes to be where Lebrav ends up so he can pulverize to knock him up. But Lebrav only gets hit by 1 turret shot until he flashes out. Skumon's able to E forward and lock Busio into the wall. He freaking, what is that called? Impales both Busio and Kalist, and Hansama's able to do a shit ton of damage to both Kalist and Busio. This confused me because Busio dies without the Q connecting. He would have died anyway, but he dies just before it. It's not the Q that kills him. And apparently Medic said that it's Skarner's passive where he has, if he hits you with 3 auto attacks, I believe, then he starts to do some passive magic damage over time just for a few seconds. So I think that's what finished off Busio. Really insane play that just turns into G2's favor. This next play is just like kind of crazy. I don't even know how they fully set this up or why they know that this is possible. But G2 starts to look at this. They start to just show up in the red side. Like, how do they know this? And then look, they're calling. They're like, yes, he's channeling, but he just like Skumon decides to stay. And then look at that. How did he know? I guess he hears it with the the sound notification. So he body blocks it. Labrov goes up, ults it. He gets eaten to the wall. Then he gets impaled. Hansama shoots Kana. Kana had just come back. Now he's getting bullied. And honestly, considering how much he gets bullied, I'm shocked that he also was super relevant in this game. I'm also surprised that freaking Broken Blade wasn't further ahead. Not that he needed to be, because he ends up doing very well later on. Okay, anyway. All right, moving on. 1450. I'm like, why did I highlight this play? Okay. So this fight begins with just a bit of a trade from both Caps and Yahoo. Caps ends up receiving the lower end of the trade, and then I don't think that, well, first of all, Caps does not know that Busio's there. Yahoo doesn't, neither Yahoo or Busio know that Labrov is there. So Caps kind of gets caught out here, and even though he misses his Q and stuff, he ends up barely surviving. And look, he doesn't pop flash. Oh, well, he doesn't even have flash. But, yeah, Cavs is just chilling. They end up walling off Busio. So, essentially, the critique here is that Yahoo does not do enough damage, even though he hits his spells. Did he hit his E there? I think maybe he missed it, because otherwise I think that would have popped him. No, I guess he missed it, which is crazy. It's so close. I think he missed it. Yeah, no, I think he missed it, because I think maybe the damage was pulverized. I think that was BB trying to TP, and then I think Sion stops it. But anyway, really the thing that I wanted to point out is that this ends up becoming Busio's 4th death. And it's hard to say like what he's doing wrong. I just think Busio is I don't know, just like it's honestly, it might be even a little bit of unluck, like, just unlucky or whatever, and he does make some pretty crazy plays in the mid game as well. But long story short, Busio ends up just kind of like, I just wanted to point out, oh, they end up rooting Yahoo here and getting the kill. Oh no, they don't. Does he get out? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay, cool. They secure the kill. Okay, so anyway, just wanted to point out that Busio is, I actually wrote in my notes, it's not a knock on Busio so much as it is just a recognition that he is human. Anyway, okay. So we move on to 18 minutes here. The game is going to get pretty crazy in just a moment. Oh, this is not even that important to bring up. Okay, Broken Blade gets caught out mid. It's whatever. Nobody else dies, even though the health bars get pretty low. All right, 21 minutes. What I wrote was, I cannot believe that G2 pulls the trigger like this and succeeds. Oh my god, this is a good play. Okay, so look at this. It's gonna happen very, very soon. So Yike backs, he runs to bot lane, and then I guess he shows on the wave, right? Because yeah, the minions see him, and Skumon immediately starts calling for this play. He smites the Baron immediately. That is so fucking risky and nuts. But they smite it immediately just to get the damage down. I honestly think that's pretty int, to be honest with you. Oh, I guess he has smite in 15 seconds, so he thinks it's going to be back up in time. Yike does not have TP, and in fact, I mean, Yike wouldn't have TP, he's a jungler, obviously, but in fact, he also gets slightly delayed because of BB. Now, I don't think that delay would have really made that big of a difference, although maybe he would have gotten enraged to ult and then maybe turn this into a fight afterwards. But they G2 ends up sneaking the Baron in impressive fashion, extremely impressive fashion, and G2 doesn't lose anybody for it. So really impressive macro play. Now the thing is, Dagda and Vedius immediately point out that G2 does not have the best siege with the champions that they have, so they immediately run up to top side to start pushing in these towers. Broken Blade immediately backed and then TP'd top, and now he's in mid, shoving mid. But here, KC pulls the trigger because they have 5, and they're realizing that they need to take a fight now to just take some Barons down and try to, get this game back in their favor. They're down 5k gold. Busio immediately jumps forward and also pulverizes Caps, I believe. Here, Skumon goes for an impale, and man, Kalist just sidesteps it. As all this is happening, Yike runs into Labrov in the jungle and prevents him from joining the fight. Throws down the Maokai ult, which gets Skarner caught. Kalist rips through Skarner like he's made of fucking paper. And I think in part it's because he just has health items and then magic resist. Literally no armor in his kit, which I think, or his in his build. Then we got this, I said this is just so unlucky for Hansama. Scion's in the bush. They have G2 does not have any vision of the bush, so they don't see the indicator of the Q. But look at this. Look where Hansama is. I would say he's not within the Q range. But I guess Riot would disagree. And also, I didn't realize this the first time that I was writing my notes, but also I think Hansama oh, no. He could have backed up where Capsule is. I was going to say he didn't have a choice because of the Maokai ult, but he did. Anyway, that knock up, look at the damage that a fucking tank does to Hansama, followed by, now once he's super low, Yahoo and Kalist are able to follow up. They also find this kill on Caps, and now G2 just lost 3 really strong members who, maybe all had all had shutdowns. And the only thing Broken Blade can get in return is the mid tier 2, which is something, but not really great. So yeah, and also, by the way, another factor as to why the siege is so important is because Sivir is notorious for being very good at clearing waves. So even if this goes any further, I think that part will really scale the team. Even if the team fight of G2 is able to scale, it's the wave clear of Sivir that might be really lethal later on. Okay. We jump to 24-41. Okay, this play, I'm like, okay, so why? I'm trying to remember 100%. This play, I know Yike gets popped. So Yike drops the ultimate. It lands onto Skumon, Broken Blade, and Caps. But then, this part gets pretty crazy. Hansama just starts to unload. Look at that, ulting onto Yike and just popping him within seconds. As that's happening, look at Labrov. Labrov is on this flank here the whole time. He puts down a pink ward, so now they really don't know where he is technically. They probably forget about him because now he's not on the minimap anymore. Then he finds this ultimate. Bam, lands onto everyone. Hansama lands the W onto Kalist. Goes to go attack him, but then gets blocked by the Scion Q. But Broken Blade, out of nowhere, dashes and flashes forward to just completely commit onto Kalist. And I'm telling you, I mean, I've noticed this from the whole weekend of games. This is last week now. But especially in this series too. Dude, the target selection where, like, they do not get distracted with any of these other freaking big bodies. They just dive onto Kalist, and they successfully kill him. Hansama does get ripped up by the freaking boomerang from Sivir, the Yahoo ult, obviously the Aurora ult, and then Scion auto attacks. And I feel like there was something else that was also shredding him. But anyway, and the last, I feel like there was one other point of this fight that I really wanted to point out. I don't know if it was oh, yes, I knew what I wanted to point out. Okay, check this out. So I also had to look up a lot of these abilities because, believe it or not, it sounds like not knowing the nuances. I didn't realize that Aurora traps everyone in here. I thought that you could literally just walk out. I thought she was the only one that had that interaction where she obviously like moves from wall to wall. But look at this. The second that Cap sees that Aurora is moving towards the wall, he actually queues before Yahoo starts moving. He sends out the Q, and this is something else that I learned. I thought that Anivia ult activated immediately upon like champion contact. No, you have to reactivate it. So he goes here. Look at that. Had he not stunned Yahoo, he would get his auto off and kill Labrov. So he gets stunned. This next part just goes so crazy because Yahoo's free. He goes to E Labrov, and Labrov had pay attention to Labrov in a second. He goes down to 1 HP, right? Moves left, sidesteps, immediately moves right. You barely see it because of the terrain, but Yahoo had thrown his E, so he would have popped Labrov. And then the E has that recoil, so because he backed up, it puts Skumon in a position to E Aurora into the wall, kill her. Busio goes to push him away to try and save Aurora, but in the end, it actually, I mean, it doesn't do barely any damage. Skumon gets healed somehow. I don't know if he has Triumph or something in his runes. And then Busio is just in the center of 3. and just like that gets walled off and just dies. Fucking insanity. I think Kana gets out. And then they get the dragon, and that's that. Okay, fucking insane fight. I'm actually getting through this a little bit faster than I expected, which I'm really happy about. Okay. The next few minutes, literally the next 3 minutes of the game, are centered around this bush in KC's red side. So at first, KC puts down a pink ward. Eventually Caps goes to clear it, I think. Eventually, they continue to just kind of posture around mid and posture around this. BB is constantly split pushing and applying a lot of pressure. Here is where he gets Kana to commit to rotating back to catch this minion wave and not allow their tower to lose any more things, any more plates. So here, they clear the pink ward. Then they drop their own pink ward, which allows them to clear that last piece of vision. There you go. Now, this part gets a little bit confusing because as you can see, Yike, it looks like they just disappeared. So it actually looks like they maybe just went straight back, right? Because they're not, that was bright for a second and weren't there. He throws the sapling, it explodes, nothing, right? So Yike's thinking he's safe. He's about to just walk to the mid lane, not being over cocky, gets walled off, gets a Q thrown at him, throws the ultimate, doesn't matter. He gets popped within a second, and now they have pressure for the Baron. They try to get onto Kana, and Broken Blade in particular. Look at how he also jumps in and almost kills Yahoo. He's literally on top of him, and Busio shoves him away, keeping him CC'd. Yahoo flashes, and also, by the way, this whole time Kalista is also free firing onto Broken Blade, which is takes him off of Skarl, and that allows him to have much less chase potential than he did before. So Yahoo gets out, but because of the health bars, G2 is able to pivot to the Baron, take it, and now it's the second Baron of the game, and they're prepared for they start to prepare for a soul point. Yes, KC is here first, but let's jump to the next big play, which is in 2 minutes. Oh man, this is a rough one. This is just Yahoo getting caught out. It does suck, and the commentators mentioned it as well, or the casters, that, you know, it does suck that Yahoo's making a mistake like this, especially in such a crucial moment, but I can't hold it against him too badly because Yahoo's played exceptional, and it's really the one and only mistake he makes in this late game. In fact, he almost makes a heroic game winning play, so can't say too much bad about him. They end up taking the top tower. G2 does, and they also start going for the mid and top lane tier 3s. They let a lot of the minions do the work. Here, Yike is looking for a massive flank, and he does throw the ultimate, thinking that KC, the other members of KC, are going to get G2 to retreat further. But ultimately, G2 is like, no, we're chilling. So they keep stepping forward, especially because Caps and BB rotate from this top tower to the mid tower. So now this gives Hansama, Skumon, and Lebrov more confidence to step forward. So the ult goes completely wide. Nobody on KC dies, although Kana burns a flash. And now Yike is stuck in the river by himself. He gets caught by Skumon, and then he ultimately dies. I'll show you it real quick. It's nothing crazy. Hansama commits ultimate, but honestly, at this point, like, you know, by the time the next objective's up, all their cooldowns are going to be up, so it's not the biggest deal. They take Infernal Soul, and at this point, there's 7, almost 8k gold up. This is looking near impossible for KC. Here, another cool play happens where they're attempting to siege. Busio gets walled off. I was going to point that out. And then he nearly dies. I mean, he survives. You're going to see in a second with like no HP. Even, oh, I thought he gets hit one more time. Now, Kana, oh my God. Yike sends out his ultimate. Kana is TPing behind them. He tries to ult. He lands a bit onto Caps, does a big chunk of damage, but it doesn't end up killing him. So he's able to escape. BB comes through, but at the end, everybody from G2 just backs off. They don't even have Baron anymore. So it was kind of just an exchange of cooldowns and ultimates, but it wasn't the worst. We move on to 34-48. Okay. Oh my God. I just finished watching this. This is so funny. This is so familiar to me. Okay. So at first, Lebrov finds this flank. They literally do not know that he's there. He Oracle edged. He knew that he was not on vision. But they do throw a pink ward here, but they don't see anything. But then they end up pinging Lebrov, which is really, really nuts. I don't think they see him. I just think that they recognize that this might be a really crucial ward or crucial bush. They do have these vision icons, but I think it's a glitch because Caps has it too. Hansama has it too. Lebrov has it. I don't think that they can be seen right now. This fight gets a little crazy because, as you can see, Yahoo and BB are in the bot lane, kind of just like trying to push the minion waves. But the trigger gets pulled around right here. Yike steps up just a little too far forward, and Caps throws his ultimate, which if you don't know, slows. So that gives him the chance to just step forward, throw the Anivia wall up, and then he follows it up with a Q. Yike has to Zanya's. Then he flashes over the wall to make sure he doesn't get, killed there. Now here, again, this is going to be one of those fights where there's a lot of different things going on. Here, Hansama and Kana at the bottom of the fight are fighting. Kana flashes almost instantly, ultimates, knocks him up, throws the Q, but Hansama flashes it. So now Kana did separate Hansama a good portion from the fight. Yike, now that he's up and he had flashed away from the fight and got to safety, he throws down the ultimate. Now he's looking to re-engage. Oh man, you're about to see something crazy. So Busio's here. I almost don't want to spoil what's about to happen, but I'll just say Busio is on Nico duty. So he's looking for her. So when he sees this clone, that's why he's not joining this part of the fight, because he's just looking for Nico. And that's when Nico freaking comes in ultimates and Hextech rocket belts right here. Look at Busio ready to freaking W him. He W's him. And by the way, Lebrov had flash. So you would think that this situation would be really, really good for Lebrov to flash forward anyway, even though he got knocked off. So his first initial kind of distance closer didn't work. The thing is, so first of all, here's another portion of the fight. So even though Kana, was queuing and keeping Caps and Hansama separated and stuff, and Caps also gets ripped up by Kalist here because Kalist steps up forward because Caps gets locked down. So Caps gets locked down. Kalist starts free firing, brings Caps really low, but Caps manages to wall off Kalist. So fuck your spell shield, bro. You're about to get fucking cooked, especially by his boy Hansama. And then Caps Zanya's. The thing is, again, like I said, Busio pushes him away, right? Also, what's really cool is that you could think that, I think Nico can flash super duper late into this ultimate, but Yike had also W'd Nico, and so she was going to be rooted for a period of time. And so even though Busio pushes her, it actually could not have been timed more perfectly, because he pushes Nico, but Yike does not follow like he usually would. He kind of just roots her, then she gets pushed. So it ends up rooting her even after the push finishes. It's just a really crazy interaction. So I looked it up. I actually looked it up. You cannot flash when you're rooted. So literally Lebrov is forced to be here, and just one normal spell, arguably two, from the side of KC, literally completely invalidates Nico's ultimate, which is literally their primary engage tool, just one of the craziest buttons that they have to pull. So this completely whiffs. Now let's look back at Kalist for a second. So he's free firing onto Caps. He ends up having to flash because of the ultimate and also a few other spells that get thrown down his way. He spell shields something now that I'm trying to remember it. But anyway, okay, so Kalist is now on the other side of the fight, but he's still able to shoot, to fire. This part's crazy. Oh my god, they're literally every detail of these fights. Lebrov Hextech rocket belts forward. I guess I thought he rocket belted forward, but he didn't. He just walks forward and then he gets pushed. So he ends up, sorry, one more rewind here. Pay attention to Lebrov. What Lebrov does is he rocket belts forward to close the distance, then he flashes to hit the root onto Kalist. Hansama immediately, shoom, flies onto him and pops the GA. Now, let me see if I'm missing any other part of this fight. I mean, Kana's just doing his thing. Now, finally, we're going to see BB and Yehu arrive. BB arrives first, and he arrives right here. He does immediately get pulverized, though, by Busio. I think if I slow this down, not that. I think if I slow this down, we'll be able to see this without having to rewind as far back each time. So, BB arrives. Busio pulverizes to knock everybody up. It also gives Kana the time to also knock everybody up with the charged up Q. Look at that. Lebrov is about to die because of the Yahoo ultimate, as is Hansama. Lebrov hits his Zanya's. Hansama tries to burst Yahoo because he pops the plasma on him, and it really is a close call. He just couldn't get his Zanya's off in time. I guess he really wanted to make sure he gets the W out. So he ends up dying. It's kind of unfortunate, but I was impressed by the play, or the attempt at least. Yahoo then kills Lebrov. Excuse me. Woo! Okay, this next part gets a little bit insane. So Skewmon does he? Oh, who roots? Who roots? Oh my God! Just before Labrov dies, throws the root, and I mean it barely comes out, but it roots Kalist. Now Kalist, Kalist is getting tagged in part. He got tagged a little bit by Anivia Ultimate, if I'm not mistaken. Got tagged by Broken Blade. Look at, oh, no, I'm so sorry, I'm fucking lying. He is getting ripped up by Broken Blade here, but the last thing that Busio does before he dies, look at him right here, is dashes forward to hit Broken Blade out of the way. It almost doesn't go off because he dies, but literally like on the frame that Busio dies. I'm telling, how can this not be the best series of the fucking, I'm gonna make a video about this someday. On like the frame that he dies, look at that. Even after the Alistar is dead, Broken Blade gets pushed back, which look at fucking Kalist's health bar. He's got like almost nothing. I think that's Kalist. Yeah, look at his health bar, almost nothing. Skewmond, look at that. Yike is on literally like 10 HP or something. And Yike also cues him out of the fight so that he also can't get onto Kalist. So it is literally protect the president. At the very end, Yahoo cues Broken Blade, killing him. Yahoo then flashes Caps' Q. Look at that. Q, flashed it immediately. W's to go between worlds or whatever. And then he cues Caps, which I think he cued him from freaking invisibility. Or at the last second, Caps fucking reacts to it, which is nuts. So they both had crazy reaction flashes. And Caps is the fucking reason why G2 is still in this game. Dude, I swear to God, it's like Caps diff. It really is, every single time. To keep them in the game, that was so nuts. Okay, we're approaching, I think, the last 2 fights of the game. No, there's actually a few more. Jesus Christ. 30... Okay, sorry, I'm fast forwarding too much. So here, what's noteworthy is that, look at this. Boom. Hansama W. Right here, where my mouse is. Bang. Hits onto Busio and even does a little bit of an AoE blast. Shoots a second one. Boom. Down to like 50 HP immediately. Now, Busio does go in here to try and knock up Skewmon and Broken Blade. And then Yike immediately pulls the trigger on his ultimate. As this is happening, Caps had walled off Kana. He did the same combo he's been doing all game, right? Which is just like bread and butter Anivia. You do the ultimate to slow, which, by the way, I know I'm saying ultimate a lot in case you guys don't know about Anivia, because I didn't. I think her ult is only on like a 4-second cooldown. So I thought her ultimate was like, you know, like I was like, that's it. But I guess that is her ult. But it turns out her ultimate is almost like Udyr. Like it's just another ability at the end of the day. Anyway, he ults, puts the wall up, stuns him. Then Hansama is able to get a really massive Q. So you're doing tons and tons of damage. But here, with the ultimate and then also Kana ulting, he ends up landing onto Caps here, doing a huge chunk of damage. Does another chunk, barely survives. I don't know where the hell he gets all this healing from. But barely survives the burst from Hansama and even the Labrov damage. Because look, he survives there, but it's only when he gets knocked down and then Hansama finishes him with the damage that Kana dies. Now let's continue looking at the other part of the fight here. So Skewmon and Broken Blade get knocked up. Skewmon acts as a big meat shield as he has all game. Broken Blade does not get stunned up, but Kalist is now free firing onto Skewmon, and even though Skewmon has a bit more items, he's still pretty squishy compared to Kalist, who's full build at this point pretty much. Broken Blade does get on top of Kalist, and Skewmon flashes to also get on top of him, and Skewmon literally with the last bit of his health, because he is so low at this point, does manage to E, which suppresses Kalist, and is about to hit him into the wall. And thank God Yahoo kills him so that Kalist is not stunned, because otherwise freaking Hansama and Labrov would have had a field day killing him in that position. So Kalist lives, continues to free fire onto Broken Blade. Everybody gets on top of him and they kill him, right? So really good play. Yeah, he also gets damaged too much, especially in part because of the Yahoo ultimate. So he then gets off a Scarl, which, you know, gives Kalist just a few seconds he needs. This game was won by like freaking inches. Okay, so Busio rooted, but he manages to get out. This, I really got to give it to Hans. Insanity. Like, he's literally playing like the assassin this team needs. He sees that Kalist is low, just dashes forward. I literally think it's just one auto attack, pops him, pops Busio. Now the thing here is that I personally, again, hindsight's 2020. I think Hans did not need to ult here. I think he should sprint away and try to buy more time. If he buys more time, maybe Caps and Labrov can show back up. Or he just gets out with his life. I feel like he's Zanya's, and that puts him in a position where, like, obviously now he just can't move, so everyone can catch up to him. I mean, Yahoo did have the Hextech Rocket Belt, so who's to say that he would have gotten out anyway? But whatever. This is where it just gets so insane. Yeah, I guess this is really like the last play of the game. Elder's up. That was what this whole fight was about. So now Caps and Labrov have to back. Meanwhile, Yike and Yahoo joins the fight late. That's why he's full HP. The thing that blows my mind is that Yike was like losing HP throughout the fight. I don't know what items he has, but he's healing. Look at him. Look at him. In a second, he just like heals. Now he's pretty much back to full. I don't know if it's Crypt Bloom or whatever. It's probably Crypt Bloom. It's probably what it is. Because I think I saw that on Yahoo. And they got full HP, baby. Yeah, they got Crypt Bloom. Yep. That's this item over here, in case you guys don't know. And I think it's when you kill someone, that's those green rings that keep coming out. You'll see those, like you kind of see them right there. That green ring right there. That's the ring of the Crypt Bloom that's healing all his teammates. Which, damn, I thought that item sucked. Turns out that's actually pretty insane. Anyway, okay. I'm going to try to bring a lot of energy to this because this is actually a beautiful narrative. Okay, this is the grand finale. Now I'm getting all dramatic. It's a fight for Elder. Yahoo and Yike somehow have full health bars. Caps and Labrov both have to back in order to fight with full HP. Caps has TP, but Labrov has to walk. Okay, there's no Hextech gates, nothing. Just gotta walk. G2 were up 2-0, and KC brought it back to a game 5. This is the third game in a row, and arguably the very worst example of the three, where G2 had a massive lead in the beginning, and KC somehow finds a way to bring it back when it matters most. Imagine, it was 8K gold lead for G2 and Infernal Soul, and yet somehow KC brings it back. This G2 iteration has been criticized so many times by people like me, who believe this roster to be inferior to their last one in 2024, which had Yike. This is Skewmon versus Yike right now, and Skewmon lost. It's Yike versus the world. It's Yike versus Caps. Former teammates, the moment. This game is what determines if G2 ultimately made the right choice. Whew. Caps TP's in. He TP's to this ward right here. Okay. Elder Drake does do a bit of damage to the health bars of Yahoo and Yike, but as you can see, Yahoo's able to heal up all the fruit, so now he's full HP, and we got a sapling here, which immediately pops the brand new item that Caps just finished, which is the Banshee's Veil. Actually, I'm curious if he sold anything for this. Oh no, he just finished it. Okay, anyway. He has the Banshee's Veil, it's immediately popped, so unfortunately, I mean, it ends up being actually extremely helpful. It's just you would like it to block one of these spells in this part of the fight instead of this one here. I have to slow this down because this is the most intense part. Okay. Q gets thrown at Caps. It misses. Q from Yahoo is about to get thrown Caps' way. I shouldn't talk about that just yet, but okay. Caps steps up. He throws the ultimate like he has all game into the wall. So now Yike is getting hurt. Yike tries to throw the Q. He misses onto Caps. Yahoo looks to throw the Q. Misses Caps. Throws the W. Misses Caps. All while Caps is maintaining enough distance with Yike that he's still able to auto attack him, which I'm not sure if it's an E auto attack. I apologize. I don't know how to read that empowered auto, but it does massive chunks onto Yike's damage. I think that was an empowered E auto, especially that Yike was chilled, so it did a big chunk. Now Caps does get hit by the sapling that Yike threw, and then finally the one skill shot likely hit because Caps was probably a bit slowed from the sapling, lands onto Caps, putting him super duper low. He gets the Yahoo also gets the electrocute, so now it's procced. So Caps is pretty much one tap from dead. But all that timing allowed Labrov to get back into this fight. And the best part is, whether intentional or not, Caps with all this posturing, I mean, you cannot tell me this is not fucking epic. He ends up getting them pincered between him and Labrov. Labrov walks in, throws Hextech Rocket Belt, throws down the root, which I guess Maokai is just coming up when the like bottom edge of the root, right, still roots Yike down. So he's Zanya's. Look at Caps. The Elder Drake is at 3k. Nobody has what it takes to do that damage except for maybe Yike, who has a 1400 smite, you know, true damage. There, the one spell that Yahoo does land absolutely clean onto Caps is that E. It puts Caps into the egg. This is 6 seconds that Caps is not able to do anything in this fight, and you are relying on a Nico support. Look at the stress on Scumon's face. He's not in this fight, and he's like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck. Are we going to win this? Lebrav is trying his hardest to do something about this, right? He throws another spell. Yike. I don't know if that was on purpose. It probably was. He fucking W's the Elder Drake, so he dodges the fucking damage from Nico, because that probably would have been enough. Dude, he ends up going to the dragon. They start free hitting it, even though he gets rooted by Lebrav at this point. We're underneath 1400. He ults and he smites. If you don't know, I mean, the fuck are you watching this if you don't know? Elder Drake is meant to end the fucking game. If you are lower than 20% HP, the Elder Drake fucking pops you. Lebrav uses a clone, runs away. It would have been really nice if this clone blocked this. Caps is up. Caps gets up right now. Right? Elder's down. Caps gets up. Immediately throws the Q onto Yike. At the same time, throws ultimate onto Yahoo. You don't notice it because now he changes position. He does that. I think... Does he have Crypt Bloom too? Oh, I guess he does. He gets some healing. I think it's just like a burn of some kind. I didn't really see an auto attack. Whatever. He throws down the ultimate. Yahoo pops his ultimate. Look at this. Caps is burning alive. Caps is locked in. Oh my god, that is so nuts. He's burning alive, throws the Q, it grazes Caps, but I don't know why he doesn't do the pullback. I don't know if he has to recast the Q or what. I think it's his passive, so he's waiting for him to gather more stacks onto Caps to then pull back. Caps gets, I believe, the empowered E because Yahoo should be chilled at this point. So Yahoo's losing damage too. Yahoo does the E, he misses. Oh man, Lebrav throws his, I think that's his Q or whatever, misses that shot. So now freaking Yahoo doesn't even die or like get caught or whatever. I mean, that just would have been damage, but he completely misses it. So everybody's missing their skill shots, dodging skill shots. Lebrav, I believe this hits, throws a root to the invisible fucking Yahoo Aurora. Look at Caps' HP. Caps' HP is so fucking low, and Elder has a burn. He gets healed. He throws down the ultimate. Yahoo, I think that's an auto. I'm gonna do this frame by frame. No, is it a Q? It's the Q. He puts down the ultimate. Fuck, I gotta show you this in real time. I'm sorry. Okay, I was wrong. Sorry, I feel like I'm botching this. Throws down the ultimate, hits him with an auto attack. Yahoo goes, look at that. First, oh my god. Caps does not decide to Zanya's until the absolute last second. Like, look at that. I mean, he loses any more health, he's fucking dead. He only does it when he absolutely has to. And this is legitimately incredible. Look at this. Ready? One frame. They both hit the Zanyas at the exact same time. Like, it's cool enough that they're hitting Zanyas at relatively the same time. No, it's at the exact same fucking time. Right here. Bang. Both players dodging each other. I don't want to spoil it. Holy shit. Okay, Lebrav, the guy that I've been so critical of, the guy that I accuse of choking. When it comes to ulting at the exact right time in the most important match so far this year. I counted it. I believe Yahoo had, technically, I don't know if, let's say Zanya's like releases at this point, which I'm not even convinced that it does. I think they get control when their life bars go white like that. Then you're looking at maybe 2 frames of movement before he gets lifted and fucking killed. Absolutely disgusting. And I want to just show you guys that play. You guys have already probably watched it yourselves, but Jesus Christ. What a play. my god, it's just, it truly is like just, this is an all-time moment. You can't tell me this is not an all-time moment, especially given the stakes. Like, there have been some insane matches, and honestly, yeah, to the narrative that this is like KC Fnatic is like the new El Clasico, bro. Like, earlier in the split, in the playoffs, with like the best of 3 stage, they also had insane like freaking 50-minute games, like base race, whatever. No, these two teams are insane. These two teams are insane, but especially G2, because G2 is G2. Look at how intense it is, like in the moment, dude. He gets slowed, which allows Yahoo to hit the Q. I forgot to mention that Yahoo goes invisible right here when he sees Lebrov, which allows him to get close to Caps because Caps doesn't know where he is. Caps is up, gets the kill onto Yike, gets the Crypt Bloom, but look at that, dodges. Look at how sensitive that timing is. When it's in slow motion, it looks so easy. Now, that's so insane. 2 frames, guys. 2 fucking frames. That is so crazy. And by the way, Nico had fucking Oblivion Orb. I can't hate Lebrov. That was insane. Oh my god, I'm knocking down my camera. I guarantee you guys I've had the worst camera angle for like however long. How bad was it? Was it like this? That's not terrible. That's not terrible. You guys see I'm wearing pants. Anyway. Holy shit. Okay. What even's left to say? I think the rest of this, the crazy part that I want to point out to you guys, I don't even want to go play by play anymore. It's just, actually there's one more play. I have to find it though because I can't remember. I am just so impressed that KC just does not give up despite how bad this is. I mean, this is what you want out of a fucking team, dude. Like, I love EU. I love every team in EU. I know I've said things about the imports, which I'm gonna tell you guys. So I'm gonna do a video about Yahoo and Kana soon or whatever, especially Yahoo and KC. It's a positive video. They siege. They siege here. Oh yeah, they take the towers. And look, it is looking like this is going to be the end. Look at Yahoo. I have to slow it down for you guys. Look at this. This is so nuts. Oh my god. I might be a little early. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. Look at Yahoo. Look at Yahoo. You look at Yahoo. Right? Jumps in. Ult. Pops Hans in literally a millisecond. He is the reason why they stay in this game for any longer than they do. It's so absurd. I forget if G2 gets... I think they do get a pick. Yeah, Yike. So the Elder Dragon ends up coming up. Yike starts to walk into this bush over here, and then they catch him. Look, Yike over here. He starts to walk over. He tries to get some presence. Yeah, you're going to see him in like a second. Look, he knows he gets caught in like a second, so he throws down the ultimate, throws down the Zanyas. He doesn't even have flash. Oh, he does have flash, so he flashes out. They just accept that they have no pressure. They burn the ultimate. BB is attacking Kana in the base. They all just back off. They get the Elder. They get the Baron. It's impressive. They literally needed the Elder and the Baron to end this game. G2 goes to siege. A big fight breaks out here. Honestly, I mean, I really don't know what more commentary to say other than they fight their heart out. Yike gets popped in a second, but they do manage to get, look at this, huge. They get the 3-man. Dude, Yahoo almost pops Hansama all over again, but then he survives. Then he ults forwards. And I don't know if they would have even if Hansama died, maybe they would have been able to like sprint over here. I'm not sure. But then, I don't know if you guys realized, BB and fucking Skewmon were backdooring. They made the call, and G2 are your champions. And this is a 2 hour, 15-minute video. This is fucking nuts. What time is it? Oh, yikes. It's 1 in the morning. Oh, fuck. I mean, truly, I'll tell you just some closing thoughts. Let me see. Okay, perfect. This series was something else. It was incredible to watch. I'm so glad that this is my job. I mean, it doesn't make me any money yet, but it's still my job, right? It's my job today. It's whether I make money or not. what's it called? No, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm listening. This set was incredible. It really was. It really was. Look, even you could tell, like, they're upset, but they're smiling because they recognize that it was just, they both played to their hearts. That you can't even be mad. When I watched Melee, I still watch Melee, but like I was a big Mango fan. That's controversial. I don't want to talk about it right now. With Mango, I was always not mad at him when he lost. I was mad when he gave up. KC did not give up. They can hold their heads high. I know this sucks. Of course they wanted to win, but they played insane. And like Busio said, they might not even be at their ceiling. I mean, they played nuts, so I don't know how much better they could possibly get. And honestly, the team that I saw the most mistakes from, in my opinion, was G2. Now, maybe that's because they were in the driver's seat, but honestly, I'm not even sure if I agree with that. I think G2 did make more mistakes. That being said, they are phenomenal, so I don't want to be critical. And I'm telling you, this series restored my faith in this team, in this iteration. It gives me the hype and hope that they will do very well at First Stand. I will be making videos about that coming out extremely soon. So be on the lookout for that. I hope you guys enjoy this. Yeah, I'm going to save any additional thoughts about G2 and KC. Yeah, I just have to say that I think they're going to do well at First Stand. I really do. I think they're going to do well. I would like to think that they're going to do well against Lions. I have to research because I'm going to do a video about First Stand coming up soon. And I have to see like what the groups are, if that's already been determined. Got to do my research about the other regions and the other teams. I know my boy, he's not my boy, I don't know him yet, but Psychopathic Poro is already doing videos about, like he did a video about, oh my god, I didn't notice that he almost dropped it. That's so funny. What's it called? I know he's doing videos about each team. Anyway, I mean, this is a 2-hour video, so I don't know why I'm so worried about retention, but I swear, this series, I'm going to do one of those green screen videos. Mark my words. Anyway, guys, I think that's it from me. I'm extremely tired. My girlfriend's going to kill me. I was supposed to go see her today, but instead, I made a video for you ungrateful little dogs, you little rats, you little weasels. So, I love you guys. I'm preparing to make my thumbnail now. And go, leave, shoo. Love ya. More videos to come. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope it wasn't too chaotic.